All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time you're watching orientation, I'm excited to be the first to welcome you to Texarkana College and this orientation experience. My name is Lee Williams III, and I'm the Director of Admissions and the Educational Opportunity Center here at Texarkana College. And you are in for a special treat because this is the first time that we're actually doing orientation on demand. Okay, Lee, so what does orientation on demand mean? It means you can watch this orientation experience anytime you want to, beginning today on Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. And you'll be able to experience orientation all the way through January 18th at your convenience. And so I wanted to go over a couple of things with you about how orientation is going to run this time. Orientation is scheduled around you. And because it's scheduled around you, you can access our orientation 24/7 at our website at www.texarkanacollege.edu/orientation. On that website, we have important resources for you to be able to get information about your class schedules. We have COVID protocol information on that website. We have information for how you can log on to your MyTC account, check your TC email. All of that information is located at texarkanacollege.edu/orientation. If you're watching this experience live while we're streaming it on YouTube, you can actually use the comment boxes, make comments, and we'll be able to respond back to you as well. We have orientation this time divided up into 4 different segments or parts, and we're going to go through that as well. We like to tell you during orientation that we like to start with the end in mind. And for many of you, the end in mind is after you complete your certificate, or if you're in for your associate's degree, it will take you 2 years. So within 1 to 2 years, we want you to already see yourself in the future and see yourself in wherever you're here starting on this journey. And again, congratulations, you made it. This is the first start of your educational journey here at TC. And we're so happy that you're here in orientation, and we're so happy to be able to provide you with important information. We anticipate, if you're watching this entire experience, that it's going to be about 3 hours. However, again, it's divided up into 4 parts, so you can watch it at your convenience. The only way you'll be able to receive full orientation credit is for you to complete the assessment. And the assessment is located, again, at that website, texarkanacollege.edu/orientation. The assessment must be completed by Monday, January 18th at 11:59 p.m. Okay? So again, orientation assessments must be completed by Monday, January 18th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. Documents and resources are still available on that site. And I also encourage you to take notes during this experience. If you have a cup of coffee, tea, water, whatever it is to get you through this experience, make it as comfortable for you as possible. All right, so let's go over the 4 parts. Part 1, we have a welcome message from our TC president, and then an academic overview from our vice president of instruction. Our dean of students will welcome you. And then we divided some encouraging chalk talks into 4 different parts. And so each session ends with a different chalk talk. Chalk talk number 1 talks about the power of your story. You have important stuff in your story that we want to be able to have you unpack even as you start your journey here as TC. Part 2, we'll go over COVID protocols, and then we'll also talk about our campus safety, and the Chalk Talk video is stepping out of the box. Oftentimes we box ourselves into these 1 boxes and we never step out of our comfort zone. And so as you're starting this experience at TC, we want you to be uncomfortable, because it's through your uncomfortability that you become uncomfortable and comfortable, and then you're able to build resources that way. Part 3, we're going to go over Arriving to Thriving. Academic Commons does an overview, and then we also talk about the disability services that we have at TC. And finally, we give you some information from our educational partner at Texas A&M University, Texarkana. And then you have Chalk Talk 3, which is unapologetic work ethic. And then we go on to part 4, which part 4 is one of the most important important parts of orientation because it talks about financial aid. It gives you all of the technical information that you're going to need to be able to navigate your way through TC and our virtual platform, even during this COVID time that we're all in. And then finally, our commit to complete ceremony, which kind of makes it official that you're committing to complete here at TC. And our last chalk talk is about seeing yourself in the future. When you see yourself in the future, it becomes easier to work through different obstacles and hindrances. All right, so we're at part 1 of orientation. Enjoy part 1 of orientation. What you can expect from part 1 is a welcome message from our TC president, an academic overview from our vice president, Dr. Donna McDaniel, and then a welcome from our dean of students, Mr. Robert Jones. Enjoy part 1.
Hello, I'm Jason Smith, president at Texarkana College, and I'm excited to be one of the first people to welcome you to Texarkana College. Although this spring semester may feel very different than any others in the past, I can assure you that together it will be successful and we will achieve great things. TC has been helping students just like you since 1927, and today marks the day each of you will become part of TC's legacy of excellence. Starting today, you are building a brighter future for you, your family, and for our community. Earning a college degree or certificate is a turning point in a person's life. In today's competitive and technologically advanced workforce, it's more important than ever that you have chosen to invest in yourself and ensure you are prepared for your chosen career path and for a lifetime of learning. By the year 2030, the majority of new jobs in Texas will require education and training beyond high school. By earning your degree or certificate, you are helping to build up the base of our region's skilled and prepared workforce and securing a more stable financial future for yourself. These are endless possibilities available to you here at Texarkana College. I hope you discover, just like I have, that it feels like a family here. I also hope you take the time to get to know your fellow students and join groups that interest you. Chances are you chose to come to TC for the affordability or the convenient location, but what you will find here is a dedicated team of faculty and staff who care about you and will go above and beyond to help you on your path toward achieving your dreams of completion. Our faculty have years of experience and credentials that are unmatched in this region. You'd be hard-pressed to find a better higher education opportunity anywhere else. We are glad you are here to see for yourself. So congratulations on taking your first step towards a brighter future.
Greetings. Happy Orientation Day. I am Dr. Donna McDaniel. I have the pleasure of serving as Vice President of Instruction at Texarkana College. I want to share a little bit of information with you today about TC. We are so happy that you have decided to join your journey here at Texarkana College. So to start off, I want to talk a little bit about our quality enhancement plan that we developed several years ago called Connect. Start smart, finish strong. And this is a quality enhancement plan that has 3 pieces. The first piece is a faculty advisor. So as all of you come to Texarkana College, you will be assigned a faculty advisor. When you ask students what the greatest asset of TC is, they're going to tell you it's the faculty. Our faculty are amazing. They care about you. They want to see you be successful. So I encourage you throughout your journey at Texarkana College to talk to your faculty. If you have questions, concerns, talk to them, email them, reach out to them. So this faculty advisor is an opportunity for you to develop a relationship with one of our faculty members so that they can help you through the journey at Texarkana College. Next, the second piece of faculty advising, after faculty advising, is our Learning Frameworks course. Many of you, if you're starting off at Texarkana College, you will be entered in a Learning Frameworks course. Some of you may have taken it at dual credit, but many of you will be taking this course. This course is to help you develop great skills to be a great college student as well as a wonderful adult. We start out talking about financial literacy. We talk with you about what classes you're going to need at Texarkana College, expanded to your transfer degree, or what you will do to go into the workforce. We really do career investigations. We also talk to you about leadership. I call it personal leadership, about you being your best you. We follow the Stephen Covey 7 Habits of Highly Effective College Students as our textbook. It's a wonderful course taught by caring faculty members who their job is to make this first semester your best semester and to lead you with steps and guidelines for you to have a successful career at Texarkana College. So we have faculty advising and we have learning frameworks course. The third piece of our quality enhancement plan is an early alert system. So what does that mean to you as a student? That means, hey, if you're not in class, we're going to contact you. At Texarkana College, we take attendance. So your faculty are going to notify you if you're missing class, and we also have other employees at TC who will contact you if you're not in class. Why do we do that? Because studies show for you to be the best you and to be successful in college, you need to be in class. You need to be in attendance. I know that this year attendance looks a little bit different. It may be virtual attendance, but you need to be virtually engaged. You need to be paying attention just as you were if you were sitting in a classroom. Some of you will be sitting in a classroom, but attendance is key to your success. From these three key pieces, faculty advising, learning frameworks course, and early alert system, we have received some awards and some recognitions throughout the state. So I wanted to share a little bit of those with you. First of all, we have won the Leah Maya Austin Award from Achieving the Dream. This is a national award that Texarkana College has received due to the good work that we have done in helping our students be successful. We have also been a leader in our completion rates. 2 years ago, Texarkana College graduation rates were the highest in the state of Texas. Again, this past year, Texarkana College, highest graduation rate in the state of Texas. So we feel that those three things, and why we ask you to do those three things, is really key to our students being successful in completing, because that's your goal. We want you to come here and get this great start, and we're trying to lay out a wonderful pathway for you. But not only do we want you to be here at the beginning, we want you to be at graduation at the end. And so our job is to get you here and get you completed and graduated as quick as possible. So those are what those three steps try to help us accomplish. So here are our graduation rates. As you see, Texarkana College graduation rate is 49.7%, which is almost twice what it is if you average all the Texas community colleges. Now, we don't think 49.7% is best because we still have 50% more of our students we want to get complete. But it is our job to strive to be an asset to all of you and help guide you through this journey for you to be successful and complete at Texarkana College. So moving on, like I said, this semester is a little bit different. I wanted to share with you the 4 types of courses, the delivery of instruction that we have designed here at Texarkana College. Many of you may have seen it. We've sent it out in the mail. We've posted it on our website, and your advisor may have spoken with you about it. But I just want to make sure that you're clear, because this will be the model that we'll be using for our spring semester. So I'm going to go into depth in each of these methods just a little bit for just a moment, and you just follow with me if you will. First of all, we have hands-on hybrid. This is designated with the HYB after your course number. And this is mostly for workforce courses and nursing courses. We do have some science labs that are using this method. But in this type of instructional delivery, you will be required at some point in time to be on campus. Most of these courses require hands-on skills to be taught and practiced and mastered. So you will be on campus at certain times for these types of courses. The next one is Flex Campus. This is labeled as FLX, and this gives students an opportunity to choose. I can either be at home learning in this class, or I can be in a classroom learning in this class. Now, of course, we practice social distancing. We're limited to the number of students can be in a class, and it may be that if you want to be in class, you may only be able to be there one day of the week, but you do have the opportunity to interact with your instructor. So, but again, if you don't want to be in class or you need to get out because possibly you have an issue in your family that you need to be taking class from home online, you would be able to log in virtually at that class. So it provides the best of both worlds. You can choose what option is best for you. Next is online on a schedule. This is considered as OOS, that's the designation after the course number. This class is, you're going to log into your computer at the set time. So it's kind of like what you consider your traditional class. If you were in class from 8 to 9:20, sitting in a classroom, instead you're going to be sitting in front of your computer with all your classmates and your instructor learning online. So it's a virtual environment, but it is on a schedule. You must be in attendance and attendance will be taken. And the last one is online anytime. This is what's called a traditional online class. You can log in and do your classes at midnight if that's what works for you. So there are set deadlines for when homework is due, but there is no time that you have to log on and engage with your instructor. So that's our traditional online, and it is called a web class. And we've been using this method of online instruction for many years at Texarkana College. So those are the 4 methods. Just wanted to share that with you. Make sure you're completely understanding the requirement for you for each of your classes. And I wanted to share with you that this year we do have a computer requirement policy. So all of you may have heard, and you may not have heard, that after Thanksgiving break, we will be fully online. Our finals will be given online. So that is one of the reasons that you must have this type of computer. So this is our computer requirement policy. It lists all the requirements that the computer must have. It gives you the option that you can purchase these in our bookstore at a very, very, very low cost for a great computer. We are selling these at the price that we get them. We're trying to pass on that to you. It's an excellent computer, and I encourage you, if you don't have one, to check out our TC bookstore. But these are the requirements, and you must have a computer for beginning in the fall semester moving forward. Also, I want to talk to you about checking your TC email. So we're in this virtual environment, so we depend on email even more than we have in the past. So I tell students this every year at orientation, to check your TC email regularly. But during this virtual environment, you need to check it even more. So some of the emails that you will get from Texarkana College is, one, your instructors. That's how they're going to get in touch with you. We send out what's called TC alerts. You should already be getting those TC alerts. This is just good information that we're sharing with you so that you know about the start of the semester, the things that we're doing to keep you and our faculty and staff safe during COVID-19. For example, our class types, the course deliveries, those were sent out in a TC alert. So we are continuously sending out TC alerts. Next is a TC Today. That's just kind of general information about events or things that are happening. Maybe there's flu shots are being given here at this time and location. Those are just general emails that come from TC Today. Your financial aid, they're going to contact you through email. Hey, money's important, money matters, so you need to be checking those emails. Your faculty advisors will be contacting you through your TC email. And then also, last but not least, we have a rave alert. These are emergency alerts that go out. They're done through a text messaging, but you can also receive them through an email. So those are just a few of the emails that are regularly sent out by Texarkana College. I cannot stress enough for you to take the time and read your emails. It is the primary mode of communication for us to you, especially during COVID-19. So last, I want to share with you our COVID-19 student pledge. We're asking students to take this pledge to keep all of us safe here at Texarkana College. Your safety, our faculty and staff, is of most important to all of us. So here's the pledge, and I encourage you to go online and read it. Since being a part of the Texarkana College community means that each of us are accountable together must take extraordinary steps to stay well and persistently protect each other on campus and in the local area. I pledge to take responsibility for my own health and the protection of others, and I will help keep the TC community safe from the spread of COVID-19 by adhering to college instructions. I pledge to follow federal, state, and local guidelines and directives. I pledge to wear a face mask in common spaces indoors and wherever social distancing is difficult to maintain, or as otherwise mandated by governmental authorities. I pledge to observe social distancing of 6 feet or as guidelines permit. I pledge to practice frequent hand washing and use hand sanitizer. I pledge not to gather in groups larger than the governor mandates. I pledge to observe personal hygiene and respiratory etiquette. I pledge to immediately contact the Texarkana College faculty and administration if I experience symptoms of COVID-19 or have been exposed, and to follow all college directives for isolation and quarantine. I pledge to immediately notify TC Human Resources if I test positive for COVID-19. I recognize that being part of the TC community means my behavior affects everyone else on campus and the people of Texarkana, Texas. Therefore, I pledge to strive to exercise healthy discretion in my behaviors and habits and follow all of the guidelines for a healthier college environment for others and myself. I encourage you to please take this pledge along with all our faculty and staff to keep us all safe here at Texarkana College. Now last, I want to show you my contact information. This is my office number that you can contact me if you have any questions or concerns. Again, thank you for your time. Welcome to Texarkana College. My door is always open if you need me.
I'm Robert Jones, Dean of Students here at Texarkana College, and let me be one of the first to welcome you here to the spring semester at Texarkana College. I hope that you have an enjoyable semester, even though we will be working under some different circumstances. The thing that I want to encourage you today is to remember, even though you may not come to school every day, we have rules and regulations here at Texarkana College. And when you don't follow these rules and recommendations, then you have to come and see Dean Jones. And when people come and visit Dean Jones, it's either an enjoyable experience or one that they want to forget as soon as possible. We haven't had a lot of issues during this pandemic, but you got to remember, we're not in the wild, wild west, and you can't do everything that you want to do. But the main thing I'm here to tell you is about problems. When I got this job, the main thing that they told me to do was to handle the problems of our students. And I'm here now to tell you that if you have a problem, don't wait to try to get that problem resolved. Contact the Dean of Students office. I may not be able to solve your problem that day, but I will start looking into it and give you an answer. But if you wait, sometimes the problems can't be fixed. So I'm here as a problem solver. The other thing that I want you to be aware of that I must encourage you is that you need to try to be active in something. We have some great students organizations here at TC, and you need to find one that you want to be a part of. Going to college is more than just going to class. It's an opportunity to meet folks, to develop leadership skills, and you do that in our students' organizations. So, as I close, once again, let me just be aware of a couple of things. If you have a problem, contact Dean Jones. To beef up your resume, join a student organization. We have plenty. And the main thing is to have a great semester. Thank you.
You know we have power in our story. Power in your story. It's through our story that we're able to fuel our work. It's through our fueling of our work that we're able to develop our mission, our passion, and our vision. Yeah, each of you have mission, passion, and purpose. Learn your story. Enjoy your story. My story is unconventional because I really was never supposed to be sitting here today. Yeah, years ago, the doctors told my parents that they couldn't have kids. And still, I'm here. I'm sitting here, right here today, talking to you. And it's because of that story that I'm able to drive my work. I'm able to pay it forward. I'm able to empower and engage people like I've never thought I would have done before. You have power in your story. And because you have power in your story, you're enough. Love yourself. Ask for help when you need help. Develop relationships with others. But understand that because you have power in your story, you're transparent. You trust not only yourself, but you learn to trust others. And that in itself breaks down the barrier of fear. So learn your story, enjoy your story, be confident in your story, and have power and passion to let others know your story. Your story is gonna help you in this journey at Texarkana College. But it's not just gonna help you at Texarkana College. Your story is gonna help you as you move forward in life. Power in our story. See, I told you, you've already gotten done one part. Only 3 more parts left. Three more parts left. Hey, listen, in case you have to go and you gotta come back to see part 2, 3, and 4 later, make sure you ask your questions at orientation@texarkanacollege.edu. That's orientation@texarkanacollege.edu. And again, make sure you check out this website at texarkanacollege.edu/orientation to get more information and resources related to orientation in your first couple of weeks here at TC. Welcome to part 2 of College 101 orientation. You're almost halfway done. Our part 2 orientation is very important, particularly because we talk about our TC protocols for COVID, and we also give you important information about campus safety. I encourage you to buckle up, take good notes, and make sure you get as much resources as possible from this particular part 2 segment. And then we also talk about the importance of stepping out of the box. Don't allow yourself to be too comfortable. Allow yourself to be able to step out of the box. Enjoy part 2 of College 101 Student Orientation here at TC.
Hello, and welcome to Texarkana College. We are so happy you've chosen TC. You've made the smart choice. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Phyllis Deese, and I'm the Vice President of Administrative Services. I have a variety of responsibilities here at TC, including human resources, compliance, and safety. I also serve as the Title IX Coordinator and Discrimination Officer for Texarkana College, and I'd like to talk more about that to you now. Texarkana College has very specific policies on freedom from discrimination, harassment, and retaliation, including sexual misconduct. I want you all to know that I am the one you can contact if you have a situation on campus that you would like to report. There is a great deal of information available to you in the student handbook and on our website about this, specifically information on sexual misconduct, including definitions, how to report, and procedures for grievances and investigations are all available to you. On the TC website homepage, there is a link at the bottom of the page called Sexual Misconduct. You can also see information on the public safety page of our website about this and a number of other safety links. On that note, another important link on the public safety page is how to be notified by text in the event of an emergency. We refer to these as rave alerts. It is vital that you keep your phone contact information updated with TC. Weather emergencies, safety emergencies, and other general information text go out to all students and employees through RAVE, and we want to keep you informed. If you do change your phone number, please notify the Enrollment Services Office as soon as possible. The last thing I'd like to talk with you about is campus safety with regard to COVID-19. Our world looks different now with the current pandemic, and how we conduct our daily lives now must include additional safety measures for our health. TC has taken extensive steps to help ensure the safety of our students, faculty, and staff. If you haven't come on campus yet, let me talk to you about what to expect. Anyone coming on campus who plans to enter any building must first go through our screening station. We have stations located at the front of campus off Robinson Road and in front of the workforce building on the back of the campus. The Robinson Road station is open from 6:30 a.m. until 7 or 7:30 p.m., depending on the day of the week and class schedule. And the station by workforce is open every morning from 6:30 a.m. until 9 a.m. At the station, you'll be asked questions about your health related to COVID. You will also have your temperature checked to be sure you are not running fever. You will need to be wearing a face mask or shield at the screening. If everything is good, you will be given a wristband for the day. To enter any building, you must wear a mask and have a wristband. You will also be asked to apply hand sanitizer before proceeding into the building. All buildings on campus have a social distancing plan, from the administration building to all instructional spaces. We are also limiting the entrances to every building to be sure that we maintain building occupancy requirements and to verify that everyone has masks and wristbands. We ask that you and everyone follow these precautions fully. It takes all of us to be sure that we stay safe during this time. You're about to see a short video about these safety measures that shows you how it all works. Texarkana College is a great place to be. We care about your success, we care about your safety, and we care about your future. Thank you for choosing us.
Hey Bulldogs, we've missed seeing you on campus, and we're excited to welcome you back to Texarkana College. Keeping you and our employees safe is our highest priority, so we've put some health and safety measures in place to help protect you and everyone around you during the COVID-19 pandemic. When you come back to campus, here's what you can expect. Every single student, employee, and visitor who will be entering a building will be required to check in upon entering campus, so we'll ask you to enter campus using one of these designated entry points. When you turn into campus, you'll pull up under the carport and stop for screening from one of our licensed healthcare workers. We recommend that you arrive on campus early to leave plenty of time to complete your screening. These screening stations will have limited hours, so watch for emails from your instructors that will include screening station hours. Our healthcare workers will take your temperature using a no-touch infrared thermometer to make sure you aren't running a fever. Then, they'll ask you a series of questions about any recent symptoms you may have or places you've traveled, and they'll ask you to provide your name and the campus building you'll be entering. Once they're finished, they'll give you a colored wristband. This wristband is very important. It will be required for you to enter any campus buildings or facilities. If you have a fever, or your answers show that you might be at risk of carrying COVID-19, you'll be asked to return home and contact your instructor or supervisor for further instructions. Each building will have a single entrance that everyone is required to use. All other entrances will be locked. Just inside the door, an employee will check to see that you have a wristband, write down your name, and ask you to use hand sanitizer. If there's a line, these floor stickers will help you stand at a safe distance from others in line. Once you enter a building, you'll be required to wear a mask. Studies show that wearing a mask protects not just the person wearing it, but also everyone else around them. You'll also be required to maintain a 6-foot distance between yourself and others and frequently use hand sanitizer. While on campus, remember the CDC hygiene guidelines for staying well. Wash hands frequently, avoid touching your face, and continue to wear your mask when not able to maintain social distancing from others. Some classrooms and labs will have a sign near the door showing their maximum occupancy. Inside of classrooms and labs, you may see some workstations, desks, and work tables marked with signs. Those areas will be blocked off to help ensure that you are able to maintain a 6-foot distance between yourself and other students. Our custodial staff has also increased the frequency of cleaning and sanitizing, especially in high-touch places like restrooms and doorknobs. This summer, our campus will be closed on Fridays for sanitation and deep cleaning. You'll see hand sanitizing stations throughout our campus buildings, and we are limiting the numbers of students and employees in each building on campus according to local and state guidelines. We've also installed sneeze guards in areas where you might have direct contact with employees, such as in enrollment services and the financial aid office. Thank you for helping us make our campus a safe place for all students and employees. We'll see you soon.
Hello, welcome to TC. My name is Stephen Gass. I'm the Chief of Police for the Texarkana College Police Department. I'm really glad that you have chosen TC and to become a part of the Texarkana College family. As part of the college family, college community, we really emphasize safety on our campus. And that's one of the things I'd like to talk to you very briefly about. We have a lot of information that will assist you as you go throughout this journey on Texarkana College. That will help you out on our college webpage. If you go onto the TC website and go to the public safety webpage, you'll find information as far as reports that are important for you. Also some resources for some videos that you can look at that will help you with some safety. And at the conclusion, I'm going to direct you to a video that is going to be very important for you to watch for your safety and then also all the safety of those around you. Just a few quick things to think about as you come onto our campus. We do have some requirements. One is an ID. Make sure that you always have an ID. That is a state law in Texas that you must always have an ID present with you on a college campus. So make sure you have that. Also helps us to identify who is on campus appropriately and who is not. Another is a parking sticker. And you should have gotten some information already sent to you about getting a parking sticker. If you already have a parking sticker, there is no need for you to request another one. It's good for your whole time at Texarkana College. And so we will be able to locate your vehicle if needed in an emergency, but we also know which vehicles belong on campus. If you have not already received one and placed it on your vehicle, you do have information on how to request that, and it can be picked up on the at the administration building or also at the media center. But once you put it on your car, it's there to stay. You do not have to get one every semester. And so make sure you do that. It's a very important part of our campus safety plan. And so if you do need extras, they can be obtained. Another thing is, and if you would get out your phone right now, and look at your phone, there's a number that we want you to make sure and put into your phone. And that is the emergency number to the Texarkana College Police Department. It is 903-798-3330. Again, that is 903-798-3330. Texarkana College has its own police department. We have some very experienced, well-trained officers on our campus, and if there is an emergency on campus, our officers are always here when you're here and able to respond very quickly. Obviously, if you get nervous and you dial 911, Texarkana, Texas Police Department will respond, and they'll also notify us. So it's very important that you do call us first, because we are the closest and able to respond the quickest. But if you forget and dial 911, that's okay. Just they'll refer it to us, but also try to get somebody to call us. In the case of a medical emergency, what we would like for you to do is dial the 903-798-3330 so their officers can respond, but also go ahead and call 911, advise them where you're at, and so that they can go ahead and send the ambulance and fire as needed. And so that is important on medical emergencies to go ahead and call both 911 and then also our Texarkana College Police Department. One of the other aspects to be aware of with Texarkana College, as all colleges in the state of Texas, is we are a concealed carry campus. And what that means is if you have a license to carry from the state of Texas, or you have a concealed carry permit from another state that we have a reciprocal agreement on, you can carry a handgun on our campus as long as it is concealed. There is no open carry unless you're a licensed peace officer. It must be concealed. And what that means is it must be on or about your person. If you'll look at these pictures on the PowerPoint, And notice, if it's something that is visible or away from you, that is not in compliance. What we're talking about on concealed is, ladies, if it's in a purse, that purse must be right there, readily accessible to you. It cannot be on a desk behind you or the desk beside you. Needs to be down there around your feet or in your lap. If it's in a backpack, the same thing. Obviously, that means that if you're going to the Pinkerton Center, you cannot leave a handgun in a backpack leaned against the wall or over in a locker. It must be on or about your person, readily accessible to you. In those cases, just make sure and secure it in a vehicle that is parked legally on the campus or somewhere, but you must keep it on or about your person. And so, if you do see somebody that you believe is armed, please call our emergency number, notify us, and we will come and address that. And so that is something that is very important. If you are concealed carry, remember that is for your protection and the protection of others. But with our campus, one of the things that we do want is to make sure that you're very well prepared for those emergencies. We know things happen, and you can call us if you have a dead battery or a flat on your car, but we're here to make sure that we work with you as a part of the campus community and staying safe. And part of that is always being aware of your surroundings, aware of people around you, and notifying those that need to be notified if you do see something suspicious. The video I'm going to end with here, it's called Run, Hide, Fight. You can also look at this along with another video that's very important on our public safety website. Feel free to show it to your friends, your family, and everybody. But be aware of your surroundings and those around you and what you need to do in the case of an active shooting or active killing situation on our campus. And so I'm going to leave you with that video. Again, welcome to Texarkana College. We're really glad that you're here. We're excited. We're excited for the new year. We're excited for the new semester. We know there's going to be a few changes, but we also know that if we all work together, we wear a mask, we check, we make sure that we're cognizant of ourselves and also of our surroundings, we're going to have a great year. Welcome. Have a good day. Thank you.
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone. and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. Silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.
Be willing to step out of the box. It's easier said than done. You stepped out of the box when you filled out your application to come here. You stepped out of the box when you did that long, awful financial aid application. You stepped out of the box just by joining this orientation today. Stepping out of the box is uncomfortable, but in order to be comfortable, sometimes we have to be uncomfortable. And so each morning, I get on this treadmill. And each morning I have to press the start button. And every time I press the start button, it reminds me that I'm starting something new. We're starting something new every single day. And the good thing about starting things new every day is you're able to erase the past. So don't be afraid about starting things new. Don't be afraid about getting out of your comfort zone, because getting out of your comfort zone is not going to be able to not only inspire you, but it's going to inspire others as well. And sometimes when we're getting out of our comfort zone, sometimes when we're stepping out of the box, it looks a little scary. It looks a little different for us. But I guarantee you, when you surround yourself with good people who are going in the same direction when you are, notice these treadmills are all in one line. When everybody's running in the same direction, everybody's going the same way. And so our uncomfortability becomes more comfortable. But in order to become more comfortable, we have to be willing to step out of the box. Be willing to step out of the box. For me, my first encounter of stepping out of the box was 20 years ago when I boarded the United Airlines flight at 11:59 at night. I'll never forget it because I was going from Los Angeles to Columbus, Ohio, which then would take me to Wilberforce, Ohio, which would then start my collegiate journey. 20 years ago. And I'll never forget that because when I was walking down the jet bridge to get on the airplane, I could not allow myself to look back, because if I allowed myself to look back, I may have gone back. And so when we start moving forward, when we start looking forward, sometimes we can't look back. Sometimes we can only look back to remind ourselves of where we're coming from and where we intend to go. So be uncomfortable, but be willing to step out of the box, because that will make you comfortable. I'm willing to step out of the box. So I guess if I was having like a little scale, you'd be 50% done, because you've just completed part 2 of College 101 student orientation here at TC. Once again, if you have questions from any of those topics covered, email us at orientation@texarkanacollege.edu, and check out our website at texarkanacollege.edu/orientation to get important resources about what the presenters just discussed. This is the start of part 3 of College 101 student orientation. One of my best parts, because it actually talks about the fundamental information that you'll need to be successful here. We have our Arriving to Thriving presentation that's done by Taniqua Martin, which gives you good information about time management, resources, setting aside the time you need to be that successful student. The Academic Commons is where we do our testing, where the library is located, where student support is located. All of the supplemental resources that you'll need is located in the Academic Commons. So they're going to talk to you about that. We also talk about the disability services that we offer at TC. And then one of the things that we talk about here at TC is the importance of continuing even after you get your certificate or associates. And so our friends at Texas A&M University, Texarkana, put together some information about how you can transfer from TC over to the 4-year institution to continue your education. And so enjoy part 3 of our College 101 student orientation.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Taniqua Martin. I'm with the Educational Opportunity Center here at TC. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about arriving to thriving. So these are 5 key things that I believe if you do this semester will lead to you having a very successful semester. Number 1 is managing your time wisely. This is going to be so critical for you this semester. One of the things that I like to do is set aside time each week to block off in order to schedule my weeks. So this is something I really encourage you to do. Take one day throughout the week and really look to plan the following week. For me, this is on Sundays. I like to take a Sunday, I sit down, I think about the tasks that I have going on for the following week, errands that I have to run, all of those different things, and I plan it out for the week. Now again, you know sometimes things aren't going to be perfect, but this puts you in a really good position to be successful throughout the week and get everything that you need to get done. Okay? Number 2. Establish a study routine. So this is going to be critical for you this semester. Most of your classes are going to be online in some sort of format. So it's going to be really important for you to stay consistent in your studying. In order to do that, I encourage you, study at a set time throughout the day. Study at a set time and make sure you find a consistent place in your home or wherever to make sure you're studying. Typically, in a typical year, you would be coming to campus so many hours per day to go to a class. It's not going to be the case right now with you being at home. So look for that consistent place. You know, for me, I have a room in my home where I go to for work and things like that. You don't want to sit in any place around the house, study in your bed, study on the go, all of these things. You want to be as consistent as possible. So when you walk into that room or you walk into that space in your living room, that desk, you know that this is where work happens. This is where work happens, nothing else. Train your mind to get to that point, and that's going to help you really be consistent with your studying. Number 2, begin each study session with a clear goal in mind. All right, this is going to be also really important. You don't want to sit down to study and just think, hey, I'm going to read 3 chapters in my psychology book. Right? I'm going to read 3 chapters in my psychology book. You want to sit down and say, hey, I'm going to read 1 to 2 chapters. I'm going to make some notes. I'm going to take note cards. I'm going to look at, vocabulary, different terms and things like that that I really need. I'm going to write those things down so that at the end of that study session, you can clearly see that you got something accomplished. But if you sit down and you just decide you're just going to sit down and go for it, a lot of times you're going to be wasting a lot of time. Think of math, for instance. Not going to sit down and study math. I'm going to look over my lecture notes. I'm going to complete numbers 1 through 20. After I complete that, I'm going to go back. I'm going to check for accuracy. This gives you an opportunity to know that you've gotten something accomplished during that time. All right. The next one, be wise how you block out your time. This is going to be very critical for you. Make sure if you're not a morning person, don't set aside the morning to do your studying. If you're not a night person, don't set aside the night to do your studying. For me, I'm one of those people, my creative hour, my mind is most open between 8 and noon. So anything that I've got that's creative, I need to be retaining, I try to do that during those hours. Now again, that's not going to be perfect. Some of you are going to be in classes during that time. But find that time throughout the day that's going to be optimal for you to retain information. All right. Finally is build in some flex time. So flex time, that's just that extra time just in case life happens, and we know life is going to happen. Many of you are working, you're going to school, you have children that you're shuffling here and there. Make sure you build in that flex time so that regardless of what happens throughout the day, you still have that hour where you can sit down and get your studying done. All right. Here's 2 things that will really help you kind of get things going. Make sure you get a planner. So you can do this with paper planner, or there's several apps out there that you can use. This is one that I used during grad school to organize my classes. It's called My Study Life. In that, you're able to block out planning time, reading time, you're able to set your task, you know when your tests are coming up, all of those things. Just a really good app to use. It's free. You can use it as desktop version, or you can use it on your phone. Another one is the Cozy Family Organizer. If you've got children that you're kind of shuffling back and forth, going a lot of places, you've got a lot of different tasks outside of just your schoolwork, then this is a good app for you to use to kind of help organize those things as well. So look for those little tools and things that you can help to really get your day going in the direction you need it to go to make sure you can get everything you need to get accomplished. All right. So the next key to having a successful semester, actively engage in your live classes and class discussions. This is going to be so critical. Once again, when you're in class, you have that opportunity to really get engaged. How engaged you are in your class is going to play a big deal into how much you learn. So it's really up to you to get engaged, talk, speak, ask questions, have those discussions with your classmates. So really get engaged in your classes. Another way, use Microsoft Teams for more than just your class lecture. So it's a great tool here to help you create a study group. Meet with your instructors or academic advisors. Rather than having these phone appointments, meet with them via Teams. Also, have hangouts. There's different ways that you can do that. Create a hangout group, create ways to network and really engage. We're going to have several different workshops and things like that throughout the semester that will give you that opportunity to do that. So really be looking forward to that. You want to make sure you stay engaged with your instructors, your classmates, and the entire campus community. Next, monitor your email for those workshops and seminars that I spoke about. Again, we're going to have a lot of those from scholarship workshops, career planning, resume building, different things like that. So really look for those opportunities. All right, the third key to a successful semester. I said a lot of things are important, but this one is really the key here. The biggest barrier to academic success is finances. It is for everyone. So it's really a great time to kind of look and take a really hard look at your finances and look at the things that you're doing financially. Number 1, student loans. Don't borrow any more than you need. There's a lot of talk about student loan forgiveness. Don't bank on that. All right, you really have to be careful with your student loans, making sure you're monitoring that. Don't take out any more than you need. If you don't need it, leave it where it is. But be very careful in that, because eventually you're going to be having to pay that back. And it will affect you in every area of life. So make sure you're diligent when it comes to your student loans. Number two, stretch your student refund. If you are one of those students that are getting a student refund based off a Pell Grant, different scholarships that you're getting, make sure you stretch that. So that's money that you really weren't counting on. I like to say put that in an emergency fund. Only touch it if you absolutely need it. But don't go and just blow that on anything. Make sure you're taking a hard look at the things that you can really use that for. Next, apply for scholarships. As I mentioned, we're going to have a scholarship workshop here coming up soon. Look out for that. There are thousands of scholarships opening and closing every single day. You really want to take advantage of that. If you apply for a scholarship and you don't get it, that's the worst that happens. If you do get it, that's extra money in your pocket. So look for those scholarships. They're not difficult to apply for. A lot of them don't have a lot of requirements. You just have to sit down and do it. Next, reevaluate your financial priorities. If there's one thing the last year has taught us, is there's a lot of things that we can really do without. So really, look through your expenses week to week, month to month. What are some things that you may be able to cut back on to ensure that you've got a little extra just in case something happens later on? I did this, I guess about 6 to 7 months ago. Kind of went through, my bank statements and things like that just to see what was coming in and what was going out. And something I noticed, that I had started signing up for a lot of little things. We think when, it costs $4 a month here, $5 a month here, that's not much. But eventually those things begin to add up. Thinking things like Apple Music, Netflix, Hulu, all of these things. Do we need all of them? So really look at that. As I started looking, I realized I wasn't using a lot of these things. And some of them I was duplicating services. Once I finished cutting a lot of this stuff, and I didn't cut everything, I found $80 a month in savings. That's a lot of money when you look at it. A lot of different things that you can be using. That's money you could be putting each month into your emergency fund. So really look to prioritize, see where you can cut funds. And here's the thing, maybe you don't cut it out forever. Maybe you cut it for the next 6 months or so. You need more time to kind of, get into classes and dedicate to your studies, things like that from here until May. Maybe you cut it out during that time. How much could you save there? So that's something to think about when it comes to reevaluating your financial priorities. Next, and most important here, stay in school and diversify your skill set. Why is that important under making healthy financial decisions? That's important because that sets you aside. There's a lot of people out of work right now. Some of you may be coming back to school because you're out of work. That means the hiring pool out there continues to grow. There's more people you're competing for jobs against. The way to set yourself aside is to stay in school, earn that degree, earn that credential. So whatever you do, make sure you finish your degree. All right, the fourth key to success, if you need help, ask for it. Now here's the thing, we can't solve every issue that may come up for you this semester, but we can't even begin to try if we don't know that there is an issue. So if you've got academic issues, you're falling behind in class, you need tutoring, you need to drop a class, reach out to your instructor, reach out to your academic advisors, and do it early. Far too many students wait until the end of the semester to begin asking for help. Ask early, know what your options are. Make sure you reach out and talk to us. If there are personal issues that come up, childcare, food, basic necessities, counseling, there's services, there's resources out there for you. We know those are hard things to discuss. It's hard to tell someone that you need help in those situations, but there are resources and we would love to connect you to those resources. So if you need help, make sure you ask for it. All right, and the final key to success here, remember why you are here. Always remember why you started. Visualize what completion looks like. Be kind to yourself, and most importantly, finish. Again, I'm with the Educational Opportunity Center here at Texarkana College. We would love to help you with all of these planning things. We would love to help you with academic planning. If there are things that you need personally, you need assistance with, come to us, talk to us. We'll get you connected, but just reach out. You can apply for EOC services by either just giving us a call or emailing us at eoc@texarkanacollege.edu, or you can submit an application on our website for the services. We work primarily with first-generation college students, but if you see anything here that you might need assistance with, you might need some guidance with, reach out to us. We will get you connected. If we can't do it within our program, we're going to find someone that can help you out. So, hey, whatever you do, finish this semester.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Tanya Mackey and I'm the Director of the Library and Student Support Services. On behalf of everyone in the Academic Commons, I want to welcome you to the TC family. Our mission is to be your support network for resources and assistance that you need from outside of the classroom. Whether you are taking online courses, courses on campus, or a mixture of both, we are here to support you. Access to all of the resources provided through the library and the tutoring center begins at the library website, and you can find that link under the My TC pull-down menu at the top of the TC homepage. While things might work a little differently this semester, students still have access to all of the resources available. This semester, rather than browsing through the collection of books, students will search the online catalog to request books through email. Use the How to Request a Print Book link for instructions. You will communicate with a library staff member who will pull your requested books from the shelf, and you will be given the option to pick up the books at the front help desk or through curbside delivery on Tucker Street. Through the A to Z list of electronic resources and library guides, students have access to over 25,000 electronic magazines and journals and 70,000 electronic books. The A to Z list lists the databases alphabetically and gives a brief description of each one, telling you which subject areas the resources in each database covers. The library guides organize content that is relevant to specific classes. For example, if you are taking an English 1302 class, that library guide lists and describes all of the library resources relevant to that class. This is an example of what our ebook page looks like. You can browse through featured books, browse by category, search by subject, or search by individual title and author. This database of ebooks is found on the A to Z list under EBSCO eBooks. In order to log on to any of the databases, you will need to use your MyTC username and password. This semester, we're asking students to make appointments for tutoring and library research assistants. You also begin that process from the library homepage. You do not have to make an appointment to come in to use a computer or to access Wi-Fi. Appointments are to meet with individual staff members for one-on-one assistance, either in person or virtually. To schedule an appointment, use the pull-down menu to select the staff member of your choice, or select View All Staff to browse everyone's availability. You can also scroll through the web page to view schedules and specialty areas. Once you have selected who you want to meet with, then you must select a day and time. Next, you fill out your name and your TC email address. Other email addresses will not be accepted. Then you select if you want to come into the library for your meeting or if you would rather have an online session through Microsoft Teams. You will receive a confirmation email. Be sure to check your spam folders if you do not. If you are unable to keep an appointment, please make sure to cancel it so that that time is available for another student. Likewise, if the staff member needs to reschedule, he or she will communicate with you through your TC email. Another service that you need to be aware of is our TRIO Student Support Services program. Find information about this program at guides.texarkanacollege.edu/SSS. If you are a first-generation college student, meaning that neither of your parents received a bachelor's degree, then you may qualify for a multitude of free services such as free tutoring, free printing, events such as tickets to plays and other local productions, along with other resources designed to help you be successful. Please fill out the online application as soon as orientation is over to see if you qualify. We are only able to accept 225 students a year into the program, so don't wait to apply. If you need to print or make copies in the library, you will need to purchase an access code from the bookstore. We are not taking cash in the library this semester. Codes are available in $2, $5, and $10 increments, and you can use your financial aid to purchase them. The final department in the Academic Commons that we will talk about today is the Testing Center. Testing Center hours, along with hours for the rest of the Academic Commons services, are posted on the same page where you schedule appointments. However, it is important to remember that tests are not administered an hour prior to closing. So if the Testing Center closes at 4 o'clock, and it does on Fridays, you must have signed into testing before 3 o'clock. In order to sign in and receive a test, students must have a photo ID, preferably your student ID or your driver's license. Electronics are not allowed in the Testing Center, and if you bring your phone in, you'll be asked to turn it off, not just silence it. When requesting a test, it is important that you know your professor's name and the name of the course. That is the only way for staff members to find the test that you need. As you can see, there are a lot of resources available in the Academic Commons. You will find, though, that the people in this building are some of your greatest resources. Do not be afraid to reach out and ask questions, either in person, through email, or through Microsoft Teams. That is what we're here for. Our priority is to make sure that you have the support that you need to be successful. So make it a point to connect with us. Have a great semester, and we hope to meet you soon.
Hello, my name is Tanya Blaze, and I'm the Director of Disability Services, Student Retention, and Testing here at Texarkana College. Let me be one of the first to tell you, welcome to TC. We're really glad you're here. One of the jobs that I'm responsible for here at TC is the Director of Disability Services. So I just wanted to reach out to everyone and let you know that when you come to TC, if you have a disability, it's your job or responsibility to let us know, and you can self-declare that you have a disability. Disabilities can be a wide range of things. It can be physical, mental, emotional. If you're not sure if what you have is a disability, please feel free to reach out and just ask. If you would like to self-declare that you have a disability, the first step that I need you to do is to go to Texarkana College's webpage, and at the bottom there is a link for forms. If you click on forms, there is a link to one that is ADA Reasonable Accommodations. When you fill that out, it will submit to me, and I will get it, and I will then get in contact with you. You will also need to provide for me documentation of your disability, and when you call me or when I call you, we will talk about what that can look like, and we'll even talk about whether or not what you have is a disability that we can accommodate here at Texarkana College. But first things first, fill out that form and get in touch with me. I'm in the office daily, so all you got to do is give me a call at 903-823-3349, or you can email me at tanya.blaze@texarkanacollege.edu. And I'll be glad to talk to you and get you started on filing for accommodations here at Texarkana College. Another thing that I am responsible for here at the college is our food bank, our TC Cares. We do have a food bank here on campus that Philip Parrish and I oversee students going and getting to visit. This is done by faculty or staff recommendation, so you can come to me, or you can go to your professor and just mention that you would like to have access to our food bank, and they will refer you to me or to Philip, and we will get in contact with you. When you go, you will need an ID and your referral from your professor or from, like I said, from myself. And we will get you hooked up with our food bank, which we can visit twice a month. We also have other fundings and things that are available for our students. If you are in need of anything, just reach out and I will help you the best that I can. and put you in contact with some people here in our community that may address different needs that you may have. One of the most important things we want here at Texarkana College is for you to stay in school. And sometimes when life happens, we need a little bit of help, and that's what I am here for, and that is what Philip is here to help you in any way that we can. I appreciate all of you listening to me, and again, my number is 903-823-3349, or my email is tanya.blaise@texarkanacollege.edu. Looking forward to seeing each of you in the fall. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Sloan, coordinator of the Community College Transfer Center for Texas A&M University, Texarkana. I'm here to assist you as you prepare to build upon your associates. Preparing for transfer to A&M Texarkana. A few things that I think are really important for you to know. A&M Texarkana has a transfer center at Texarkana College. I'm always available to assist you, so please let me know if there's anything I can do to help. We have events every semester, such as a transfer workshop, Spotlight, and Eagle Open House. I encourage you to attend one, if not all of these. They're here to assist you and make sure that you're prepared to have a smooth transition. Campus tours. If you haven't been to our great campus, I encourage you to do so. That way you can see what the Eagle family is all about and see if it's the right fit for you. Degree audits and 2+2 or articulation agreements. These are extremely important, and the reason I say that, whenever you're working on your associates, you may be doing general studies and plan to pursue a different degree at A&M Texarkana. That's okay, and that's how we can assist and make sure that your courses are going to align and you're not going to have any extras. So reach out if you're interested in a degree audit. Also, if you need a degree audit, we can do those your first semester and every semester after until you're ready to transition to make sure you stay on the right track. With COVID-19, we're doing a lot of virtual options, so please keep that in mind as far as events and appointments. Bachelor's degree program opportunities. I included these just so you could see what your options are, but I'm not going to go into great detail on those. If you have questions, please let me know. Transfer admission standards have changed and will go into effect summer of 2021. These won't affect you as far as receiving your associate's degree. It's just an update from 30 hours to 1 full semester after high school or GED completion, but I just wanted you to be aware. The 2.0 GPA requirement has not changed. How to apply. So this is one of the big perks of being a partner with A&M Texarkana for TC. This past year, we have updated our application process, and TC students have a custom application. There's several benefits of this. You won't pay your application fee. TC is going to send us your official transcript for you, and it's a simplified application. It's a win-win for you. You can apply on our website, of course, as always, but I strongly encourage you to use our custom application. You'll receive this email whenever you have 45 or more hours, typically your last semester before you graduate. If you have any questions about that, let me know, but that is a great perk. Why you should be an Eagle. Again, partnership. There's lots of benefits of TC and A&M Texarkana being a partner. My office is at TC, so that's a convenience, of course. Also, like I just mentioned, the application is simplified for everyone, and there's 2+2s that make sure that you stay on the right track. We're number 6 of 20 best affordable colleges in Texas for bachelor's degrees in 2020, 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which is great for you because that's going to make sure that you have that faculty interaction. That's not only good for you when you're a student, but also whenever you're going to apply for jobs and need that reference. Convenience, we're just up the road. Experiential learning. You're not just going to have lectures and different things that you may think that you have at a university. You're going to get a lot of interaction and experience throughout your learning at A&M Texarkana. Student support and opportunities. This one is really important, and the reason I say that, over the past few years, we've added a new program for transfer students. Transfer Student Services, or iCare, offers a lot of great opportunities and resources specifically for our transfer students. There's completion coaching. They have printing resources available. There's a student organization that's been created through that, and a lot of other things. So whenever you go to transition, don't think that you're on your own or that there's not a lot of non-traditional students who are exactly like you. There's an office that can help you and give you the resources that you need to be successful and complete your bachelor's degree if that's what you want to do. Campus life. We have a lot of great things for you to get involved in. organizations, athletics. We have several new buildings on campus with different things you can get involved in, such as the Patterson Student Center, which has a game room and a lot of other great things. So make sure that you get involved and know what all you can do as far as joining the Eagle family. For more information, please reach out. I'm currently working remotely, as a lot of people are, but always know that you can call me or send me an email and we can schedule an appointment. If you would like to schedule an appointment through the link that's listed, please do so as well. I hope you have a great semester and consider joining the Eagle family in the near future. Thank you.
Unapologetic work ethic. Unapologetic work ethic. When I think about somebody who has an unapologetic work ethic, I think about Michael Jordan. And I don't only think about Michael Jordan, I think about that flu game. I don't know if you remember a couple of months ago, The Last Dance came out. And it was a docuseries that documented Michael Jordan and his drive to his last NBA Finals championship. And one of the games that he played was called the flu game. And Michael Jordan was sick that day. I'll never forget. Ahmad Rashad comes out and he's talking to the commentators back at the booth, and he's saying, we don't know if Michael Jordan is gonna play. It's a game time decision. He has flu-like symptoms. Michael Jordan had the flu that day. Michael Jordan had the flu, and regardless of the fact that Michael Jordan had the flu, he was still gonna play. He had an unapologetic work ethic. When you have an unapologetic work ethic, you have high respect for others, you communicate, because communication cuts down on conflict. You have passion and purpose that drives you, and your passion and purpose is also called grit. And when you have that, you're able to not only move forward, it makes you accountable, it makes you have integrity, it makes you have good character. An unapologetic work ethic is what Michael Jordan had, not only that day, but throughout his whole career. And so I oftentimes, when I think about an unapologetic work ethic, I think about birds. I do. And I don't like birds. But I do like the fact that birds have an ability to stay together. And they're unapologetic about their business. They're unapologetic about how they're gonna fly. And so if you ever notice that sometimes when birds fly, there's always a bird that's the leader. There's one bird that's flying and the others are categorically flying beside that bird. And so that leader bird is leading the birds through to the next destination. And sometimes that bird that's leading, sometimes that bird's gonna get tired. And when that bird gets tired, it rotates out to allow somebody else to lead so that person can get rest. When you have an unapologetic work ethic, you are gonna get tired. But because you get tired, that unapologetic work ethic allows you to surround yourself with a team that's positive, a team that's going in the same direction as you are. Those birds fly together, and when they get tired, another bird takes place. Another bird takes the lead. Another bird is guiding them to the direction that they want to go in. And sometimes, though, the birds separate. Sometimes there may be 15 or 20 together, and then it may be 10. 10 may go in one direction and 10 may go in another direction. And I say that to say, sometimes when you're going in one direction, some of the people who may be flying with you one way may not be flying in the other way with you that you're now deciding to go. If some people have to cut off and go in a different direction, let them go in their own direction, because you're going someplace different. You're going someplace that could be at a different location that's gonna provide different opportunities for you. So birds, they fly, and there's always a leader bird, and they always are regurgitating, and they're always encouraging each other. That's what happened that day with Michael Jordan. Michael was tired, and I'll never forget that 3-point shot that he shot in that game, which then took him to game 6, which then gave them the championship. Scottie Pippen came right beside him. Scottie came and carried him to the bench because he was that exhausted. Sometimes when you have an unapologetic work ethic and you're surrounded by your team, they're gonna have to help drive you to the finish line. Allow other people to drive you to the finish line. Allow them to carry you to the finish line, because your unapologetic work ethic becomes contagious. An unapologetic work ethic will not just help you at your journey here at TC, it will help you in life. I would do a 75% completion dance, but I don't really know how that would look. So congratulations on completing part 3 of College 101 Student Orientation. A lot of good information for you, and I hope that it was as beneficial to you as it was to me. Again, those questions can be addressed at orientation@texarkanacollege.edu, and I encourage you, drive yourself, mark on your little phone, your laptop, that orientation website. texarkanacollege.edu/orientation is your place to go with all of the information that we covered in part 1, 2, and 3 of these orientation sessions. When you complete part 4 and you complete the assessment, you're completely done with College 101 Student Orientation. Part 4 is very important because it deals with your finances and it also deals with technology. 2 very important things that all college students, regardless of age, regardless of when you're starting, need in this college process. And so our financial aid office teams up with the business office, and they walk you through with important steps about how to check your student account, how to get your financial aid access, and all of that good information. Then our information technology team, they've combined themselves together to give you the best of what TC has to offer by way of technology. And so they're going to walk you through Microsoft Teams, how to check your TC email, how to get into the virtual environment for questions to be answered with our enrollment services. All of that information is covered in part 4. So please buckle up, get some good popcorn, or if you're like me, get some gummy worms, because you're gonna wanna buckle up to get all of this information and resources. And then last but not least, our Dean of Liberal and Performing Arts does our Commit to Complete ceremony. That's you publicly committing that you are gonna complete this process. I'm excited for you. Enjoy part 4. I'll see you at the end.
Thank you, Lee. So my name is Becky Fant, and I am with the Financial Aid Office here at TC. We want to welcome you, and we are glad that you're with us this semester. The Financial Aid Office is here 8 to 5, Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. You can see that our phone number's on there, and we'll have it again for you. One of the most important things about financial aid is starting off with a FAFSA. So if you haven't completed one, it's not too late. And it's going to be one that you're going to do every year. You can still use the FAFSA.ed.gov or FAFSA.gov website. It is going to redirect you now to studentaid.gov, so don't panic if you get redirected. They're just leaving the old FAFSA.gov website available so that you can link across. They're trying to transition all that to one large federal database where you can get to all the things you need. You are going to need an FSA ID. You need to keep that in a safe place because you will use that each year. We have probably the most time consuming of completing a FAFSA is creating your FSA ID. So be sure that you keep that in a safe place. Now, what happens once you complete your FAFSA? It gets sent to Texarkana College if you select your school. It takes about 48 hours after you completed it for us to get it here and we process it. Now, about half of our students do get selected for verification. That's not that you've done anything wrong. That's just the way the statistics are, and it's going to ask you for some additional documents. Everything is by email. So the email that you use when you create your FAFSA, that's what sends to us here at TC. And so when we're corresponding with you, it's going to be through that email that you created. There are priority deadlines. That's usually for the beginning of the semester. That just gives us a leeway of processing any documents that you have in a timely manner so that you have funds when you need it. If you go to the next slide, it's just a brief overview of how FAFSA works. So the 2021 application, which is the most current, is good for the fall of 2020, spring, and summer. Now, believe it or not, the 21-22 will become available in October. Yes, October, like 2 months from now. The new one will come out and it will be good for the next year of fall 21-22 summer. So just a couple of things I want you to know, that if you do a FAFSA, you're going to do prior tax information. So what that means is, for instance, for 2020, you're going to look at 2018's income tax information. If you are not married and you don't have children and you're under the age of 24, then you are required to provide your parent information. And we do realize that that's difficult for some folks because they are out on their own, but it is a requirement that the federal law won't let us get around. So we always say get it done early, and that everything is on the financial aid website, and we send notices to you for anything that we're missing. How does Pell work? So Pell is prorated. So when you get emails from us, it says, congratulations, you're going to have financial aid, and this is your federal award. What that means to you is that the maximum that you can get each year is listed in the total for the year. And what happens is when your hours load for each semester, it's going to prorate. So if you have 12 or more hours, you're going to be considered full-time and you're going to get your full semester award. If you're going 6 hours, that's a half-time award, and it's going to cut that in half. So a lot of times people will get our first email and it says, oh, congratulations, and you're going to get, $3,000. And then we load your hours and you're only taking 2 classes, which is maybe 6 hours. And all of a sudden your aid is down to $1,500. So just keep in mind that it is based on your status, whether it's part-time or full-time. And for instance, our workforce students, they're generally, if they go during the day, they are full-time. And then if they take at night, they're half-time. And there's also something called year-round Pell, which now means that you can have Pell for your fall, spring, and summer classes. When you're on financial aid, be sure that you realize that you do have some academic requirements. These are all set by federal. So satisfactory academic progress is something that the financial aid sends out at the end of each semester. You do need to maintain a 2.0, which is a C average. You have to complete 67% of your classes. And there's also something for maximum time frame on your degrees. Now, what that means is the completion rate allows for you to change your mind, or life happens and you're taking 12 hours and something happens and you have to drop a class. So that does calculate into your completion rate, but that's not a bad thing. We understand that things happen and there's situations that come up where you don't have other choices. So just know that if you have to do that, don't panic. And we can help you work through that. Also here in the financial aid office, we handle all the scholarships. So a couple of scholarships that I'd like to put on your radar is the TC Faculty Association Scholarship. It rewards those who have a 3.5 GPA and have completed at least 12 hours. So it's a semester with us here at TC. And then the Jake and Bessie Eldridge Memorial Scholarship is a scholarship that is for transfer. So when you have completed 60 hours, you have to maintain a 3.0 GPA. It transfers to any public university in Texas. So this is a great way for us to reward your academic progress here and help you out as you go on to other institutions. Ms. Pam is going to discuss with you about some other issues with scholarships. Ms. Pam?
Hi, thank you. Hi, my name is Pam Jefferson, and I am the cashier supervisor here at Texarkana College. And basically, I'm going to kind of pick up where Ms. Becky left off, and in particular, outside scholarship is where I like to start. If you're receiving any kind of an outside scholarship, like from your school, from your church, from your job, if they're curious to know where to send those scholarship funds to, they can send it to the address on the screen. Just be sure that they put it to the attention of the business office so that we can receive those funds and get those applied to your account promptly. What we'll do is once we receive the scholarship funds, we will notify Ms. Becky in the financial aid office so that she can get those funds applied to your account and you can see those online, okay? In addition to outside scholarships, if you're receiving assistance from a third party, and that basically means just someone who would like for us to send them a bill to actually cover your tuition and fees, whether it be Texas Rehab, Arkansas Rehab, anyone that would like for us to send a bill on your behalf, we'll be taking care of that for you as well. Basically, they will more than likely provide you with what's called a referral. A lot of times they'll send it directly to us. Sometimes they'll give it to you. If you do receive it, bring it by our office and we will take care of transferring your balance from being your responsibility to being their responsibility, and then we will actually send them a bill for your tuition and fees. In addition to that, if they are going to be providing assistance to you to purchase textbooks and supplies from the business office, we'll actually take care of making those funds available at the bookstore so that you can go over and charge your books. And again, as I said before, we'll just send them a bill on your behalf. Slide. Okay. How can I use my financial aid to pay for my tuition and books? A key thing to remember, as Ms. Becky said earlier, is always, always, always keep an eye on your email, because that's going to be the way that we're going to be communicating with you. In particular, look for an email that's pretty much going to award you, letting you know that you are receiving financial aid, because you'll need to be sure and log in and accept your terms and conditions. Okay, do remember that. Once you accept your terms and conditions, that typically makes the funds available to your student account, and you'll actually see the financial aid online. Okay. What the system will do is it will look at how much financial aid you've been awarded. It'll look at your tuition and fees that you owe the college and actually place that financial aid toward paying off your tuition and fees. Okay. If you do still have funds available after your financial aid is applied, the additional funds will feed over to the Texarkana College bookstore, where you can actually go over and purchase your textbooks. Key thing to remember if you're going to the bookstore is you will need to have a photo ID with you. It could either be preferably your student ID card or a driver's license. Just know that before you're able to charge any books, you will need to provide a photo ID. Okay. Key thing to remember, not only for Texarkana College, but wherever your future takes you after you graduate from here, you as a student, please remember you're responsible for making sure that your aid and that your account balance is taken care of. Okay. So a lot of students, they do receive what they're receiving financial aid and think that there's nothing else that they need to do. A lot of times that's true, but then sometimes it's not. Sometimes your financial aid is not enough to cover everything. So if there's ever a question or a concern about making sure that everything is taken care of, please reach out to the business office. We'll be more than happy to look at your account and give you okay, that everything's okay, or if you have a balance, we can talk to you about some of the payment options that we have here at the college. If you're not able to pay in full for any remaining balance that you have, just know that you all are eligible to sign up for a payment plan. Okay. Good thing about our payment plan is it is set up electronically online through your MyTC account, so you can do it at the convenience at a time that's good for you. You'll just log into your MyTC account and follow those steps in order to set up a payment plan, and just make a small down payment on it and pay off your tuition and fees throughout the semester, if that's an option that you need to take. Okay. Lastly on this slide, parking permits. The business office and our student accounts office is where you will be receiving your parking permit. There is a form that you need to complete that just kind of lets us know some brief information about you, as well as the vehicle that you will be driving on campus. Be sure and pick up one of those forms, or if you need more than one because you're driving more than one vehicle, pick up one for each one of your vehicles. Go ahead and complete that form. Bring it back to the student accounts window located in the administration building, and we'll actually give you your first parking permit. Okay. Your first parking permit is included already with your tuition and fees. And if you need any additional parking permits after the first one, Again, go ahead and complete a form for that additional vehicle, bring it to our office, and just know that the additional stickers will just be $2 each. Next slide. Refunds. Our office is extremely popular on campus because we are the office that actually issues out financial aid refunds to our students, okay? I just want to briefly help you understand how we determine how much of a financial aid refund that you as a student are going to be eligible for this semester. What our office does is it looks at your total financial aid that you have been awarded. That could either be Pell Grants, student loans, scholarships. We combine all of those amounts and we get a total. Then we look at what your total charges are for the semester. This is going to be your tuition and fees, any bookstore purchases that you may have made, any additional parking stickers that you may have charged, and we get a total. We deduct your financial aid that you've been awarded from your total charges, and that's the amount of the refund that you can expect to receive for the semester. Of course, as I said before, our office is the office that actually processes those refunds, and if you've not done so already, I do want to encourage you when you're in your MyTC account to please select a refund preference. There's going to be a little reminder that's going to kind of pop up every time you log in asking you to please select a refund preference. You are going to have options to customize it to your personal preference. The first option is going to be to have the funds personally direct deposited into your own checking or savings account of your choice. What it'll ask you for is the routing number and the account number for your bank. You input that information, hit save, and you're done. Now, if you do select this option and you bank at Red River Credit Union, just Red River Credit Union, please be sure to contact Red River first before you enter your routing and your account number, and let them know that you want to have your funds deposited into a checking or savings account, and they will tell you the numbers that you need to use in order to have those funds direct deposited, okay? And that's just for those of you using Red River Credit Union. The second refund option that you're going to have online is you can have your funds direct deposited to a Herring Bank debit MasterCard. That is offered here through Herring Bank, which is a company that we partner with to provide you with a means of getting your refund if you do not have a personal banking account of your own, okay? If you select this option, be sure and input the correct mailing address, because Herring Bank will actually mail you out your debit card in the mail. Whenever it comes time for us to do refunds, we'll basically just upload your refund to that master debit card. So if you've not done so already, I just want to encourage you to please go in and make a refund choice so that we can actually get your refund to you in the preferred method that you would like to have it, okay? Now I've kind of explained to you how we determine what your financial aid award is, how you can receive it. So now most people always want to ask, okay, so when can I start looking for this refund? At Texarkana College, we typically issue out refunds about 1 month after the first class day. So for this fall semester, those refunds are going to start going out around the end of September, beginning of October. Next slide. Now, for some of you students who've opted in to receive a student loan for the semester, your refund is going to be handled quite differently. And at this time, I am going to turn it back over to Ms. Becky so that she can actually explain to you how you can expect to receive your refund this semester for those of you with loans. Becky?
Thanks, Pam. So with refunds and loans, you need to know that they are dispersed in 2 disbursements. So there's kind of a little example that says if you have Pell, you're going to get half of your student loan less your balance, which means you're going to possibly get a refund the first disbursement, and then the second disbursement is made 30 days later. So if you kind of go to the next slide, it'll show you a little bit of the math. It's kind of easier to understand. So use an example that you have a $2,000 loan. So disbursement one, you're going to get $1,000, which is half. Let's say your charges are $700, and that leaves $300. So the first disbursement and refund, you're going to get $300. 30 days later, you'll get the second half of your loan, which is the $1,000, and that's what you'll get as your balance. Now, remember that everybody's financial aid is different. So possibly the person sitting next to you in class, or even in virtual class, they may have the same disbursement of $1,000, but they have $1,200 in charges. So the first disbursement and refund period, they're not going to get any money back. The second disbursement is the second $1,000. They have $200 remaining in their charges, and then they're going to get $800, for example. So please be sure that if you have questions about your financial aid, that you let us know. Usually Ms. Pam is real good at reminding everybody that we're very careful on what information that we release over the phone. I do know that we're doing a lot of more phone questions, and we're going to ask you for some identifying information before we're going to release anything, because we don't want to give your information out to the wrong person, and you certainly don't want us giving it out to someone who may take advantage of that, okay? And just want you to know that the Financial Aid Office is here for you. We do financial aids, we do student loans, we do scholarships. We're also the veterans certifying officials here on campus for our veteran students. You can always email us at financial.aid@texarkanacollege.edu. You can give us a call. Our number there is listed. You can find us on, of course, the college's website. We just want you to know that we're here for you. We're here to make this the best possible experience that we can. And, you know, the business office, we work really closely with everyone here on campus. And if we don't have an answer, we're going to certainly find you someone who can assist you. Ms. Pam?
Thank you. Next slide. This is just basically the contact information for reaching us. Again, there was originally the financial aid office email address, but here's one for the business office. You're more than welcome to call us, email us, and again, as I stated earlier, if you need to or have someone contact us by mail, that is our mailing address there. They just need to be sure and just put it to the attention of the business office, because that will expedite your mail here to us as quickly as possible. And again, like Ms. Becky said, we're here to help. Please reach out to us. Let us know how we can help. And again, as she said before, if we cannot find the answer, we'll most definitely find someone who can help you. Again, we'd like to welcome you all to TC, and we just hope that you all have a great semester. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome to the orientation for technology for new students. I'm going to be talking to you here for the next little while about services that are available here at the college. My name is Mike Dumda. I work in the IT department. And the way I'm going to do this is we're going to first have a short introduction here. And then when the introduction is finished, I'm going to do a series of presentations by using the shared desktop environment, where I'll step you through various topics that we're going to be talking about. Before I get started, first I want to talk just a little bit about the COVID-19 situation. And because of the COVID-19 situation, you will have to have a computer and an internet connection for all of your courses. And the reason for that, of course, is while we hope to continue to have on-campus classes throughout the fall, there is a possibility that we may have to revert back to online only. So we are making it a requirement that all students are prepared in case that does happen. For the computer requirements, you need to have a Windows 10 or Mac machine. Linux also would work. The computer has to have a camera and a microphone, and it has to be reasonably fast. It doesn't have to be the fastest computer going, but if you're frustrated with the slowness of your computer, you might want to consider getting an upgrade. And if you are interested in an upgrade, right now the bookstore has some really good offers on computers. We got a really good deal with one of our vendors, and you can get a computer over there probably cheaper than you can get one anywhere else. They are guaranteed to meet all the requirements for your online classes. And another benefit is if you're on some kind of financial aid, such as a Pell Grant or something, you can use your Pell to pay for the purchase of the computer. So, and I'm not hawking this just because it's the bookstore and it belongs to TC. If I were in the market for a new computer today, I would buy one there myself. That is, they're about $200 off for the type of equipment that you're going to get. They're about $200 cheaper than I've seen anywhere else. So really good deal. Another thing I will say about the computer requirement, kind of just so you know whether or not yours might be sufficient or not, and that's what I would call the YouTube Netflix test. So if you do have the camera and the microphone and you're able to stream content such as YouTube's and Netflix or whatever else you might want to stream, as long as all that's working with reasonably good performance, you don't suffer a lot of outages and breakups in your stream, probably what you have will work. So that is what your computer requirements are. All right, our next topic is going to be TC email and the Office 365 apps. And these can also be accessed via browser. So we're going to kind of go through the same technique as what we went through the last time. I'm going to change this to be a guest. Again, you won't do that. I'm only doing that for the reason that I'm doing a demo. So I'm just going to go to Google, and I am going to Google for my TC. Again, that's because a student portal is a good place, a good launching point for most of the things that you're going to be doing here. And because I'm interested in email, and the only reason I'm going to the MyTC site is just to get to the link, I don't have to log into MyTC. I can just come down here and click on email. And when I do, it's going to ask me to log in. So I'm going to log on as Abigail. And I'm going to use her username. And in this case, I'm going to type in her full email address. On this screen, it's not really necessary, but there are some other screens where you'll be logging in where you do have to use the @texarkanacollege.edu component of your login name. Most of the time you don't, but some of these Office 365 services does require that. So if you can't log in, you might try adding that on just to make sure that that's not the problem. I'm going to type in Abby's password, and I'm going to sign in. Okay, email itself is fairly simple. It's just an email app. I'm sure that almost everyone watching this has been on some kind of an email system, and this is similar to most of them. If you're used to using Gmail, it has a little bit different look, but the concepts are all the same. You have an inbox here, and all of your email will come in here. If you want to create a new message, you can click it here. Now, I want to tell you that email is very important here at TC. And the reason why it's important is this is how your instructor is going to communicate with you. This is how financial aid, the business office, your advisor, anyone that wants to contact you is going to do it through your official MyTC email account. They're not going to be sending emails to your personal accounts. They're going to be sending emails to this account. So you want to be logging into this account and checking your email regularly. Very important that you do that. We're going to show you just a little bit later on when we're talking about help desk on how to set up email on your cell phone. And I recommend that you do that as well. It's a good way to keep track of what's going on here at TC without having to sit down at a computer. So that covers email. So next step is we're going to take a look at the Office 365 apps. And the email platform here, or what we're looking at right now, is a good starting point or a good jump off point in order to get to your Office 365 apps. And all the Office 365 apps, which the email itself is one of those apps, are connected together. And the way that you jump between them is you use this icon here in the upper left-hand corner right next to the word Outlook. And when I click it, these are the Office 365 set of apps. And if you're used to using Google Docs or Google Drive, this is the same functionality. It's just the same functionality using the Microsoft applications versus Google's. So if I wanted to start a new Word document, I could click on Word, and it will launch a connection to the Word application. And so now I'm in Word. Word has replaced Outlook, and I'm going to create a new blank document. And there I go. So I'm now ready to start working on my new document. I should have a ribbon here in just a second. There we go. So I'm ready to start typing. So if I had a paper to type, I could type in the name of my paper. So let's just say that I have a English term paper is due. I could type in English term paper, and then the content for the term paper and a bibliography. And my term paper is almost finished. I want to make it look just a little bit better. So I boldface it. I choose to center my content on the screen and bump that up a little bit. And so you can see it's pretty simple to use. Again, it probably looks a whole lot like the Google Docs version of this thing. Now, when you get done entering in your work, somehow you got to give this document a unique name. So in order to give a Word document a unique name, just come here where it says Document 1, and you can click it. And when you click up here, you can give it a name. So let's just call it English paper number 1. And by default, it's going to save it to your OneDrive. I'll tell you more about OneDrive here in just a minute. So I do that, I press enter, and you'll notice up here now it says Word English paper number 1. And as you work, it automatically is saving what's going on, what you're doing as you work. It's going to save it as you're going on. So all I have to do when I'm finished is close it, and that's it. So it doesn't show up down here yet, but if I hit refresh on my browser, you'll see that I now will see English paper number 1 is there. Now, what's good about this is if you're doing this at home or you're doing it on campus, no matter where you're at, these documents will follow you around. So you can actually even edit them on your cell phone if you install the Word app on your cell phone. So I wouldn't want to type a term paper on the cell phone, but it is possible if you wanted to do that. So this all follows you around your OneDrive. So speaking of OneDrive, let's just go there next. So it's another one of the Office apps. You can kind of think of OneDrive as an electronic flash drive. So just like you can take a normal thumb drive, flash drive, plug it in, you can do that. The OneDrive is just there all the time. It's connected up to this series of applications. If you're used to using Google Drive, it's the same thing. So you can upload documents if you want to. You can create new documents from here. But most of the time, you're just going to be taking a look here at what you have already. So I've already created some documents. Here's my brand new one, my English term paper. And I also have a PowerPoint here that I've created. So all of this lives here in OneDrive. You can share stuff if you want to too, which is kind of handy. You can come here and you can choose to share your document with someone else. So you might want to share it with your professor. So if you did, you would just click share, and you would be able to type in your professor's name here if you wanted to, and you could choose, who gets it, and type in your professor's name, and then they can access the document from your OneDrive. Very handy. So that's OneDrive. Let's take a quick look at PowerPoint, because I know a lot of times for coursework you need to do a presentation. So again, you can click on the PowerPoint link, and we're now doing a PowerPoint, and I can do a new blank presentation. And it comes up with no theme at all. So I want to have a theme on it so that it's not just plain black and white. So over here is a list of different themes that we can use. So I'm just going to pick one off the list here. And I choose my theme, and then I can add a title, my show, and add a new slide, and choose what type of slide that you want, and continue on with my presentation here. So all good. So in order to save these, it's kind of different. They're not really consistent here. In order to name this one, you would click here in the middle here, and you would just type over the name presentation, and you would give it a name. So this is the DSD presentation. And again, you'll notice here too that they are saved as you go, so you don't have to save anything. You close it, and you now have a DSD presentation. And again, if I hit refresh on the browser, it will show up down here on the list of items that we have. Here it is down here, DSD presentation. I could also go back to my OneDrive, and you'll notice that my DSD presentation now shows up over here as well. Okay, so I think that's all we need to talk about. We have a very limited time span, so I think we'll just call that good for email and Office 365 apps. No, we're not. I thought of one other thing that I want to tell you about, and that is if you want to install full-blown Office, this is the desktop version, which has more functionality on your own computer. You can do that. All you'll do is come over here and click it's either going to be your picture or your initials over here, and the initials are backwards. And you're going to click on My Account. And when you click on My Account, this topic is on Teams. Teams is the application that we use in order to present courses to students that may not be on campus. So we have 2 or 3 different types of courses that are like that. One is called Flex. With a Flex course, some students are on campus in the classroom, and other students are participating from their homes. Another type of course like that is called Online on a Schedule. And in that model, what happens is the instructor presents from here on campus, but there's no students here, or they might be presenting from their home. But in either event, there's no students on campus at all, and the entire session is conducted through a Teams meeting. Teams also supports the idea of having content embedded in it that you'll look at using the Teams application. It also has some chat features in it. So let's start taking a look at Teams and how we use that. In order to run Teams, the best way to do it is actually to have the desktop app installed. And the first time you connect to a Teams meeting, it's going to ask you to install the app. If you've used Zoom before, it's a lot like Zoom or WebEx or any of these other kind of applications for conferencing, where the first time you participate in a meeting, it downloads the application to your desktop and you run the application, it installs, and then you have the desktop version. Because I am wanting to be Abby Beecher today, so that I'm not using the Teams account that's connected to my own personal account, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually launch a web version of Teams. Teams is one of those Office 365 apps that we've talked about earlier. So you would get to it similar to the way that we got to Word or PowerPoint or our OneDrive or our email. So I'm going to start a browser up here, and I'm going to launch Chrome. And because I want to be Abby and not me, I'm going to change this to guest. And then I'm just going to go to, this time I think I'll just go to the Texarkana College website to get started. And once I'm there,
there's this My TC link here. I could go to email here. Some way you need to get to your email. Actually, I think I'm going to go to My TC. This portal here is a good launch option for just about everything that we've been talking about today. And here we have an email link. I don't really need to log into My TC because I'm not going to be using that, but I'm just using this as the launching point to get to my other services. So I'm going to launch email here. And when I do that, I'm going to log on as Abby. So I'm going to type in Abby's credentials. And I'm in Abby's email. Now, Abby's already gotten some invites to some Teams meetings here. She was in a training session earlier in the summer. And if you get one via email, which you will, all you have to do to join is just click on the link here, and it will actually start the meeting up and launch it for you. When you click it, one of the options is going to be, do you want to download the app or do you want to participate on the web? I recommend you download the app. Again, I'm not doing that here because it would interfere with my presentation I'm doing now, and also it would launch me into my own session instead of Abby's. So another thing that you can do in order to get into Teams is, because it is one of the Office 365 apps, you can come over here and you can see that Teams is an option. And this is Teams Web. When I launch Teams Web, it will spin up. Just give it a second here. And when you launch the web version, it encourages you to get the Windows app. So I could click that instead. There's also a version for Mac if you have a Mac, but I want to use the web app instead. So I'm going to click the link here. And I am in Abby's Teams sessions. Now, in Teams, you have a side panel over here that lets you choose different things that you can do. We're going to mainly focus on the Teams portion here. We're going to take a look at chat, and we're going to take a look at calendar. So the Teams, first Teams. So since we're looking at this, each team that you have represents a class. So the ones that you're going to see are going to look most like this one here in the middle, where it's going to have the year and term of the course, the name of the course. In this case, it's Online 130101, and then a suffix telling you a little bit more about the course. And if you're in other groups, you may have other non-course type teams also, but most of you are only going to have these type of teams right here. So each class is represented by a team. If I click on a team, it will take me to the content for that team. So now I'm looking at Abby's Online 130101 class, and I have different things going on here. And so this is the general tab, or the general channel. And so the correct term for this is channels. So just like you can, once you're on the site, you can, or within the team, you can have different topics within that. So like chemistry might have many different chapters in the course, or it may have many different topics in the course. So depending on how the instructor decides to divide it up, you'll have multiple channels over here to choose from. So the general tab has this information on it. If I click on chapter 1, you'll notice that this content all changes. And that's because now we're in the section of this course that has to do with chapter 1. If I click on Teams Fundamentals, you'll notice that it changes again because there's different content involved here. So in each team, you're going to have different channels, and you'll select the channel that's appropriate for whatever part of the course that you're working on at the moment. In order to get back to all teams, you can either click the all teams link up here at the top, or you can just click teams over here on the left. And then you could choose another course, another team, and you could participate in that. Okay, so that's the overall view of Teams. Now, in order to participate in a Teams session, you can click the email links as you get them. You'll also be getting reminders when a class meets, and you can also click on the Teams calendar. So again, we're in the middle of the summer. Abby has no courses in July, so nothing's showing up here. But during the regular semester, you'll have links here for each class that you're involved in. that has a scheduled meeting time. And at the time that the class meets, you'll just click on the link here and you'll have an option to join the session. And when you do, it will launch a Teams session where you'll participate via a video conference, and you'll be able to communicate with your professor, other students. You might even be asked to be the presenter in that session, say in a speech class. You could actually give your speech to the rest of the other team members using Teams and your camera and microphone. So if you're have anxiety about being a presenter, though, for the most part, you're going to be a observer, and you'll be able to participate like that. When you're in the session, you'll have a toolbar. There's some help desk articles about how to use Teams that go into more depth, but you'll have a little toolbar down here towards the bottom where you can mute your microphone, shut your camera off if you want to, open up a chat window, view the other participants that are in here, share your desktop, whatever it is that you want to do here. So when you first join a meeting for a class, we recommend that you find mute your microphone down here on this bottom bar, and you do mute because a lot of times in these more attended meetings, we get a lot of echo and feedback if you don't mute your mic. So that'll be down here. Okay, so this is on the calendar where you would find your upcoming events. Next, I'm going to take a look at chat. And in chat, you can communicate with other people, and this could be your professor, this could be your faculty advisor, it could be someone that works in the financial aid office, and it could be a study group that you want to connect with. So if you want to create a new chat, this is the folks that we've had chats with in the past. If you want to create a new chat, you just come up here and click the pencil icon, and it will say, hey, who do you want to chat with? And then you just start typing in the names of the people you want to chat with. And again, this can be other students that you're enrolled with, or it can be just whoever. So I'm going to chat with Bart Upchurch. And when I type in Bart, I get anybody that might have Bart in their name. Or actually, I've got some BARs here. I guess it hasn't done the whole thing, but there's Bart. That's who I want to chat with. And you can chat with multiple people at once. So I'm also going to type in Chris Townley, and I'm going to type in Kathy Smith. So I'm chatting with 3 different people now. So once I have my group here that I want to communicate with, I can just type in a message, and I can just say, this is another demo, and press enter. And then those folks can communicate back with me and talk with me. So chat, though, sometimes can get kind of boring, or it may not be doing the job. And if that's the case, you can easily convert one of these chat sessions into either a voice call by clicking the phone here, or you can actually do your own interactive video conferencing with, again, anybody that you happen to have within your chat, which could be your friends, your professor, your faculty advisor, whoever. So if I click this, it would immediately call all of these people and invite them to an online video session. So that's a really nice feature that's part of Teams. Can't do that with Zoom, which is part of the reason why we went with Teams instead of Zoom. Plus, you have all this history that's related to the course and the ability to break things into channels. So although Teams is sort of like Zoom in the online portion of it, when you're participating in an online session, it has a lot more functionality that makes it more applicable for hosting and participating in semester-long classes. I'm going to stop here because there is a variety of things that you can do in Teams, too much to cover here. We have help desk articles, and you can also click on the help icon down here within Teams itself, and they'll give you specific information about using Teams to a greater extent if you want to see that. That concludes our session on Teams.
Okay, the first topic that we have is the student portal, or MyTC. In order to access MyTC, you'll use a web browser. And I know that probably several of you have already used MyTC to some degree. We're going to be going over some things, though, that you are more than likely not familiar with in MyTC. So it will do you some good in order for you to follow along with what we're going to do here. So let me go ahead and get the browser going. And if you're on campus, there's going to be a bookmark toolbar that will take you straight to MyTC. If you're off campus, the easiest way to find MyTC is just to type MyTC into a Google search or some other search engine, and the MyTC portal will show up as the first link on the list. So either way, that will get you there. For today, this is a demonstration, so I'm actually going to go to a different site for this presentation, and I'm going to be logging in as a guest. And the goal here is so that I can present this to you using a test student account on a test site, so that you'll be looking at something that's more like what you'll be seeing when you log in. So let me type in my test site location, and then I am ready to log in. So I'm going to be logging in as Abigail Beecher. Abigail Beecher is a student that's almost ready to graduate. So I'm going to type in Abigail's login name. And so her login name is going to be like yours. It's going to be your first initial, your last name, and then the last four of your student ID. Not your social, the last four of your student ID here at TC. And then I'm going to type in Abigail's password and press enter. And I'm logged on as Abigail. You'll know that you've logged on successfully when you see your picture here indicating it's you. You can also click it and you should see your name down here. That shows that you are logged on as you and not someone else. Occasionally, if you just sit down at a computer here on campus, somebody might have left the system up and running, and you might be logged on as them. So make sure that this is you when you log in, if you sit down to a computer. And you also have the student tab here and some of these other tabs. So the first tab that we're going to take a look at is the student tab. And there's some parts here within the student tab that we're going to review. And the first one is the All My Courses section. And in the All My Courses section, you should see all the courses that you're currently enrolled in. Now, because this is summer, when I'm recording this and fall hasn't gotten here yet, I don't see the fall courses, but I can drop this down and I can choose future courses, and this will update to show me the courses that are coming up in the fall. And so Abigail's enrolled in 2 chemistry classes, it looks like here, and it shows you a online schedule that you can look at. And you'll notice too that the courses that Abigail's taking can be clicked on. They're hyperlinks. So what the hyperlink will take you to is any online content that might be associated with the course. So here at Texarkana College, we actually use 2 online content mechanisms to provide that content to you as a student. And these are called LMSs, or learning management systems. And basically they're just websites where you have things like your syllabus and maybe tests, quizzes, online tutorials, whatever the professor decides to put there. So because we use 2 of them, what happens when you click this, it will take you to the proper LMS. So if that professor chooses to use the one that is called TC Online or Moodle, it will take you to the TC Online or Moodle site. And if that professor chooses to use the one that is called e-learning, or the one that's integrated into the MyTC portal, it will take you there. So you don't have to worry about the fact that we use 2 LMSs. You just have to click this link and it will take you to the right place. So when you click one of these links, again, this is not fully fleshed out yet because it's summer and this is fall courses. But when you do, it will take you to the appropriate content for that particular course. So this is the chemistry, organic chemistry 1 lab content. And once fall gets here, more than likely this is probably going to go to the Moodle site instead, and you'll see a bunch of content here related to the course. So that's how you get to the online content for your courses. I'm going to click on the student
tab again here, and we'll roll on down. This is where you can change your contact information if you want. This shows you who your faculty advisor is, what your major is. Keep on going down here. This is where you can check your grades. So if Abigail wanted to check her grades for a previous semester, let's see, it was Abigail here in the spring. Let's click. And let's hit view final grade report. And she was. So here we can see Abigail's grades for last spring. Abigail is apparently a very good student, straight A's it looks like. So she's doing awesome. Click the student tab again. And rolling on down here some more. I'm going to skip GPA projection. We're going to take a quick look here at my course schedule. If you click on view details, right now it says no courses to display. If I click view details though, I can change this from summer to fall. And when you're choosing from these drop downs here, you'll normally see several different choices for fall. The one that you want is the one that's just fall all by itself. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to click search. And once I click search here, then you'll see the courses again. And the main reason I brought you to this particular module or section of the student tab is this is where you can click in order to get a printable copy of your schedule. So if you click this, you're the kind of person that wants to have a printed version that you can take with you, put in your notebook and have with you. It shows you the location of the course, if it's on campus, and the time of the course and all that. So easy way to get that. Okay, back up to the top, I'm going to click student again. And then we have usually in the right-hand panel, you're going to see a bunch of things that are different help guides for different things that you may be interested in doing here at the college. So for instance, we'll be talking about this later, but we use Microsoft Teams to deliver live online content. This is where the professor will be in class. He'll be conducting maybe in a class session with people that are actually sitting in front of him, but he'll also be using a Teams meeting in order to present that same material to those that are participating from home. And that gives you a fairly good experience where it's almost like you're in the classroom. You ask questions, you can see what's going on in the classroom, and it's a pretty good system. It's sort of like Zoom, but has additional features that Zoom doesn't have. So, in fact, I'm using Teams right now in order to do these sessions that I'm doing. Learn how to do things, and then we have the add drop section where you can add and drop courses, assuming that the add drop period is open. Clear down here at the bottom, we have where you can view your unofficial transcript. If you click that, this will get you a transcript that you can use for unofficial purposes. If you need an official transcript, you'll need to go contact the enrollment management group, but this will get you one that will just show you where you're at. Pretty handy. I'm going to click back on the student tab again, and that pretty much covers the student tab. Now, some of you may have explored all this and already known about all this, but I'm thinking that probably a lot of you have not been over here in the panel over here on the very far left. And there's some things here that are nice to know. One is the advising section. And if I click that, you're going to see here what your current major is, what your degree plan is, and you can then find out what courses that are still remaining in order for you to complete your degree. So Abigail's major is an Associate of Science in Biology, and if we click on View All Details, you'll see that she's met core, she has met non-applied coursework, and she has passed her college level requirements test. They're all completed successfully. So she's still working on some courses that are related to her actual major. So if we click this link right here, and sometimes this takes just a second, you'll notice that this is spinning, meaning that it is in the process of trying to gather up the information. This will show you what she has left to do in order to complete her degree. And you'll notice here that she's currently taking this chemistry class that she needs. And when that's done, she'll still need to take this other chemistry class. So initially, this is going to be a fairly long list for most people. And you can also click on the printable advising worksheet. And on the printable advising worksheet, this is very useful for you to have in order to find out what courses are required for your degree and what courses you've taken. And so you can see here again, I told you that Abigail is nearly finished. So Abigail has already completed all these classes, and the classes that she's currently enrolled in, if I scroll on down here, you'll notice that these are the 2 classes that she's currently enrolled in. And then you'll notice that we have red X's out next to these, meaning that they are in her degree, but she still hasn't completed them. So as you are planning your courses, this printable advising worksheet is a good guide in directing you on what courses you need to sign up for the next semester. I'm going to close this window. Billing and payment. Not much different. Some of the other stuff we've seen, we already seen the My Unofficial Transcript. Graduation. When it's probably time for Abigail to do this, because Abigail is nearly ready to graduate, and in order to graduate, she first has to apply for graduation. So Abigail would click this. What this is going to do is take you to a form that you fill out. And so when you come down to your last semester, you'll probably get an email or a notice telling you that you need to apply for graduation. This is where you do that. Refund choice. If we click it, you'll get this when you first log into MyTSC as well, until you make this choice. If you're on some kind of financial aid grant, or if you have a scholarship and you get more money paid to you than what you owe, this is deciding how you want to get that money paid to you. So you can choose to have it go to your bank account. You can also choose to have it go to a debit or credit card that is a TC money card, is what we call those, or you can get a paper check. And of course, the paper checks are a little bit difficult both for us to get them to you, especially in current situation. We have to have current address, course, and all that stuff, or you have to come pick it up. So we recommend that you either go with the bank account or with the MyTC money card in order to get that back. And then you just click this to make your refund choice, and you're set up on that. You won't see it when you log into MyTC anymore. Financial aid. This one's important, and this is one of the main ones that I want you to see if you haven't been here already. And if you're on financial aid, you need to come here and log into this thing and accept your award. And this will tell you everything about your financial aid, how much your Pell Grant is, any documents that you might still need to. So with the financial aid system and how your Pell Grant's going, you need to use this portal. And you notice here that it's asking you to log in, and it wants your social security number and a password. So this is different than almost all the other TC services that are available, in that it wants your social instead of your first initial, last name, last 4 login. And that's because this is tied to the Department of Education, and they want to keep track of who you are for their accounting purposes. So you would type that in. Now you say, well, what's my password? So if you're the first time user, you're going to click this, and you're going to type in your social security number. You'll click submit, and then it's going to ask you to create a PIN. And don't be confused by the word PIN, because when I hear the word PIN, I think a 4-digit number like I use for my ATM card. But that's not what you want to type here. Instead, you want to type a word. I don't know why the Department of Ed likes to use the term PIN. I don't know why they don't say password, but don't type a PIN. Too easy to guess. Instead, just use a regular old password and hit submit, and it will create your account. And then from that time on, you will just go ahead and type in the password that you have here in your social. So that will get you in. So, and if you have a financial aid award, you have to accept your award in order to receive any money. And this is also where you accept your award. So you have to log into this if you're going to get any kind of Pell Grant or other type of financial aid. So do that. Let's see what else we have here. This will show you current courses. And let me see here. Do I still have the other window going? It doesn't work here because I can't click these, but this will take you to a place, and that's because I'm on the test site. But this will take you to a list of current courses for these particular terms where you can kind of do a overview look of what's coming up. If you want to request a course specifically, you can click this and put in a course request. This one is nice to know about too. This is the LMS interrupted test form. So if you're taking a test and something happens and the test gets interrupted, you want to fill this form out. And when you fill this form out, it will put a notice out there so that we know that, hey, you didn't answer the last half of the test because you didn't know the answers, but instead, you had a problem while you were taking the test. So this will kind of give you a proof that you were interrupted and that you really did know the answers to the last half of the test. The system cut you off though, and you weren't able to complete. So please fill this out if you get a situation where your test is interrupted. And quick links. Okay, quick links will take you on down several other services that we're going to be talking about later. In fact, the next topic here is going to be email, and we're going to go over some of these other things. So why these are kind of handy is you can just go straight to the MyTC portal, and once you're there, you can jump off to just about all the other services that you're going to be needing to use. When you are finished using MyTC, you want to click this and you want to log out, and that's so that somebody else can't just sit down there and access your MyTC information. Along those lines, if you're on campus and you are using a computer, you also want to make sure that when you leave that you click and log off of your computer as well. So make sure you do that if you're on campus. Log out of the computer as well as out of MyTC if you happen to be in that. So that will shut everything down. Passwords and phishing. At TC, in order to attempt to keep people from hacking your account, we have you use what are called strong passwords. And there's some rules about passwords that you need to know in order to successfully change your password. For one, it can't contain any part of your name, and it has to be composed of 3 out of 4 of the following types of characters: a capital letter, a lowercase letter, a digit, or a special character. So you have to use at least 3 out of 4. So 2 caps, a lowercase, a number, and you're good. A cap, a lowercase, and a special character, you're good. Lowercase, numbers, and a special character, you're good. As long as you have 3 out of 4. It also has to be at least 8 characters long, and you can't use passwords that you've used in the past. So you have to come up with a unique password each time. A lot of people handle that situation by ending their password with a digit or 2 that they just change to the next digit up when it's time to change the password. You have to change your password every 90 days. The objective of that one is it's best practices in the IT world to have people change their passwords. And if someone did get your password, we don't want it to work for them forever. So we have you change it every 90 days. Now, I'm going to show you how to change your password here in just a little bit. But first, let's take a review of what these rules are, and let's take a look at some different passwords. So here's some passwords. And the question is, are these good passwords or bad passwords? And the first one you'll notice, if the person's name is Jane, that's not a good password because it includes part of their name. Since I'm Abigail, it'd work fine. Jane might be my sister, so that would work. But it won't work because of the fact that it only contains 2 out of 4 of those characters. If I capitalize the word Jane, it would work. But as it is, it doesn't work because it doesn't meet the strong password requirements that we want. Second one, also no good. It's no good because it's too short. And it does have 3 out of 4. It has capital, lowercase, and numbers. It's not a good password even if it was long enough though, because it's too easy to guess, but it may actually work. I highly recommend you don't use a password like this. You want to use something more complicated. So that moves us down to number 3 there. And these are the kind of passwords that I suggest that you use. Its problem, if you're looking at it, is how in the world can I remember that? That's too complicated. Yes, I could see where a hacker probably would never guess that password, but I'm not going to remember it either. So here's the trick. And that is when you're making up a password, instead of using something that's just abstract, tie it to a phrase or something that is easy to remember. So this particular password actually stands for I go to TC at 9 o'clock. And so now you've got a password that you can remember very easily. It could be something like, my favorite restaurant is, McDonald's or whatever. So you could put stuff in there like that, and you wind up with passwords that are seemingly a random set of characters, but you can still remember them. This one here would work, again, because it meets 3 out of 4, but it's probably no good because of the fact that this is probably a birth date, and you would want to avoid using things like birth dates in a password because anything that you can find on the internet, like you went out to Ancestry.com, if you can find that information on the internet about yourself, it's probably not a good thing to use in a password or as a security question answer. So mother's maiden name, another thing you probably wouldn't want to use. Okay, next one is another password that's good, and it's sort of like this one up here. This one is my dog's name is Custer. So again, you can see a password that probably would not ever be guessed by somebody just doing random password guesses, but it is easy for me to remember. The last one down here, let's count characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, no good. So that gives you some examples of good passwords, bad passwords, and a strategy that you can use for setting passwords that are hard passwords to guess, but easy passwords to remember. Now, actually changing your password, we're going to go to TC email in order to do that. We used to have folks do it here on campus, and what they would do is they would press the Control-Delete key, and you get a prompt there to change your password if you're on campus. Because many students aren't on campus these days, or may not be, what we're doing instead is we're showing them how to change the password within TC email. So if you're going to use this method, you have to change your password before it actually expires. If you let your password expire, you cannot change it using TC email. You'll be having to call the help desk in order to get them to assist you. So I'm going to launch Google. Again, I'm going to be Abby. So let me get Google running. Let me become, let me close this session. Let me launch a new one. And change over here to being a guest. And I'm going to go to my TC. And again, I'm just using this as a jumping point to get to email. Hit the email link, log in as Abby. Okay, so once I'm Abby, in order to change a password, you can come over here under accounts, click accounts and hit my account. And there's password. So I'm going to click on password here, and or actually it's right here. So I can just click on change password, and you can change your password from within email portal, the Office 365 set of apps. So in order to change a password, all you do is you type in your old password, and then you type in a new password twice. As long as this meets strong password requirements, your password is good again for the next 90 days. So that's all there is to it. If you do forget your password and you let this go too long, you can always call the help desk at 903-823-3030, and they will assist you with a password reset. Okay, we actually have 3 topics left: help desk, and we have printing on campus, and we have setting up your phone to use Outlook on your cell phone with TC email. And in order to expedite the time, what I'm going to do is we're just going to go to Help Desk, and I'm going to show you there on the Help Desk app where you can find information about all of these items as well as other things. So I'm going to go ahead and start the browser up here. This time I don't really even have to log in. I could go to if you're at the MyTC portal, again, because I keep telling you that's the launching point for anything that you want to do here. Here's a Help Desk link right here. So you click Help Desk, and that will take you to the Help Desk. Now, if you actually have a problem and you're not just trying to look something up, you can always call the Help Desk, and Help Desk hours are on here someplace. I'm not sure that they're totally up to date. Our goal, here they are. Our goal, though, this says 8 to 5. Our goal, though, for the fall is actually to be open from 8 to 7, and that's due to the fact that we're going to have many students that are trying to participate in online classes in the evening. And so we're going to have a live person there until 7 o'clock each night, Monday through Thursday. On Fridays, we're going to be open from 8 to 4. And if no one answers the phone, although we do try our best to have a person actually answer the phone and talk to you when you call, you can always leave a voicemail and they'll call you back. You can also email the Help Desk. And if you do, what will happen is that as soon as a Help Desk staff person gets your email, someone will return your call and help you out. The number for the Help Desk is 903-823-3030, and they will, again, do their best to actually have someone answer you when you call, not put you in a queue, not put you on hold, not deliver you to voicemail. The only time that happens is when the Help Desk is overloaded. You can also use the Help Desk, though. One of the things that we talked about was we were going to take a look at putting email on your phone. So the Help Desk itself, just the website, will direct you to how to do many of these things that you want to do without having to actually call them. So if I wanted to put email on my phone, I could type in email and top link here. I could press enter, but hey, I got a link right here. I'm going to click on how to access your Texarkana College Edu email. When I click that, you'll see here that one of the features that is available to me is how to set up email on either an Android device or an iOS device. So if I click that link, what it will do is it will take me to a step-by-step set of articles or instructions on how to install TC email on my phone. And you notice it's number 1, do this, go to the App Store. Number 2, find the Outlook app by searching for it. Number 3, hit the Get button. And then they kind of step you on through the rest of the features in order to get it installed, and then how to get your TC account added into the system, and type in your password, and you're good to go. So you're ready to go on your cell phone using the Outlook app. So very easy. Almost the same instructions exactly for an Android app. So that's how you would put it on your phone, and that's also one use of the Help Desk app. Another thing that's pretty big going on right now is on the Help Desk itself. We do have many articles on using Teams, and the reason we do is we know that's a new experience for many of you, and so we've really put that kind of at the top here, so that if you want to know more about using Teams, you can find it here. I will say this about the Teams instructions. They're very detailed. They might almost be too detailed. Because in order to participate in a team session, really what happens is you get an email link, you click the link, you're in the team session, it's over. So this is just more information if you need it. Our last topic that I'm going to talk about just a little bit is printing here on campus. So if you're going to print here on campus, we use an application called PaperCut. And if I minimize this window just a second, if you're on campus, you're going to have a little window like this, and the little window will show you how much money you owe. And again, I'm not logged in, but it would show me how much money I owed or how much money I had available, what my print jobs were, and I could release my print jobs. Too much to cover in this session. So, but this is the paper cut interface. So rather than going through all that and trying to demonstrate it, what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to type in printing, and there's printing services, floats to the top. I'm going to click printing services. And again, now I'm using the help desk features in order to find out how to check my account balance, how to submit a print job here on campus, how to release my print job, depending on where on the campus I am, how to print from a iPhone, iPad, or Android, whatever I happen to have, and where's the printers located, how to use guest printing, all of that stuff is in here. So again, the help desk will direct you to many tasks, and this is sort of like a Google for the help desk. When you type something in here, whatever you type, you're going to get some information about that particular topic. So believe that concludes the orientation. This is our last topic. So I hope you enjoy your experience here at TC, and I want to let you know that the IT staff is here to help you. If there's anything that we can help you out with, please call the help desk. We do everything we can to make sure that you have all the resources that you need in order to succeed. And don't be intimidated. We are all focused on customer service, and you're our boss. So you call us, we'll take care of you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Mary Ellen Young, and I'm the Dean of Liberal and Performing Arts and the Honors College at Texarkana College. I am also over Phi Theta Kappa International Honor Society, which is the honor society for two-year colleges. On behalf of the faculty and staff, I would like to welcome you to Texarkana College. We are so excited that you have selected to begin your educational journey at TC. We always say that today is our second favorite day at TC. Our favorite day is graduation day, when we see you walk across the stage to receive your degree or certificate. I want to encourage all of you to get involved with campus events, meet classmates, form study groups, and reach out to your professors or tutorial services when you have difficulties in your classes. So many on this campus are here to help you. We want you all to be successful. Today, we want you to, in the words of Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. You will have access online to a Commit to Complete certificate. So what we want you to do is you will promise to yourself to make a commitment to finish your degree or certificate and never, ever give up. What I ask you to do is hang this certificate in a prominent place where you study, so if you get frustrated or make a low grade, you will remember on this day that you are determined and committed to finishing your degree or certificate. You will have some disappointments along your journey. You'll also have some difficult times, but please do not give up. If you consider quitting, please reach out to at least 3 people at Texarkana College who can possibly help you. There are those on this campus who can help you with social services, food or housing insecurities, tutorial services, and many, many other needs. We are here to help you. You may also have people in your life who just think this is not a good time for you to be in college. Do not let anyone steal your dreams. You may have friends or family members who intentionally or unintentionally distract you from your educational journey. And for some of you, it is because you're getting out of their comfort zone, not yours. You have your dreams in mind. We want you to keep the course, keep your dreams in sight. Don't let anyone steal your dreams. Again, on behalf of the faculty and staff at Texarkana College, congratulations for choosing TC for your educational journey. We look forward to seeing you on campus and seeing you virtually. Best wishes, hang in there, go Bulldogs. Welcome to Texarkana College.
See yourself in the future. See yourself in the future. Graduation will be here before you know it. What comes after you complete a TC? What comes after you graduate? What's next? You have to start looking to the future. I see you in the future, and boy, I see doctors, I see lawyers, I see welders, I see cosmetologists, I see nurses. I see you in the future. Do you see yourself in the future? It's so important that you claim, that you own your next move. It's so important that you take this journey, that you take this ride, that you take this opportunity as a stepping stool to see yourself in the future. And boy, oh boy, you look good. I'll never forget, I had to encourage myself to see myself in the future, because when I was graduating from high school, my senior year, I was only concerned about the present. I wasn't looking to the future, and so my senior year was a roller coaster, to say the least. I was academically good, I was involved in activities, but I didn't know what my future was gonna look like. I didn't know what was gonna happen after June 20th, 2000. And so to make a long story even longer, I got to the point that graduation day came and I didn't know what I was gonna do after I graduated from high school. My parents could not afford to send me to a four-year institution. And while I wanted to go to a four-year institution, I also didn't want to break the bank at home. And so for me, it looked like I was gonna go to a two-year community college, which was great. I was excited to do that. And as I was about to enroll and register, my college counselor called me. And she said, what would it look like for you to go off to school? And I said, I never gave it much thought. And so as we started talking through the process, as we started looking at how it would look, I started seeing myself in the future. I started seeing myself at Wilberforce University. And within the next couple of weeks, I had applied, I was accepted, and I was offered a full scholarship to attend at Wilberforce University, the nation's oldest private historically Black college in Wilberforce, Ohio. That moment right there taught me the importance of not only being concerned about the present, but also being concerned about the future. You have to look to the future. You have to start planning things out and putting the puzzle pieces in place so that once one puzzle is done, you already have the next puzzle that's ready to come out of the box. We have power in our story. We must be willing to step out of the box. We must have an unapologetic work ethic, and we must look to the future. When you do all four things of those, you can unapologetically, you can confidently and boldly say, I got this. You got this. You got this because I believe in your story. I believe in your unapologetic work ethic. I believe that you're willing to step out of the box, but more importantly, I believe that you're gonna look to the future. You got this because we're gonna surround you at Texarkana College. You got this because you understand what it means to put power and passion and determination and purpose collectively together. You got this because if you wouldn't have gotten this, you wouldn't be here today. So congratulations on your journey. Congratulations on having this. Congratulations on what your next step looks like. You got this. Whew. You're done. You've completed all of the 4 different videos. You've done part 1, you've done part 2, 3, and now we've just completed 4. Congratulations. Once again, you may have questions, particularly about financial aid and technology, and we want to be the ones to get those answered. So make sure you email us at orientation@texarkanacollege.edu. We're monitoring that email account and we'll get all of your questions addressed from the professionals who we know can get them answered. A couple of things. Make sure you visit the website again at texarkanacollege.edu/orientation. Our COVID pledge is on the website. The TC campus map is also there. If you're taking in-person classes this semester, you'll want to know where to go on campus. And then we have COVID frequently asked questions that you're going to want to read and become familiar with about COVID protocols on campus. There's a TC sample schedule on there. There's also your commit to complete certificate. Print that off and put it in a visible place so you can remind yourself about the commitment that you made to complete here at TC. And then lastly, we have some of the presentations from the presenters. The Arriving to Thriving is on there. The academic overview from Dr. McDaniel is on that website. Academic Commons, in case you missed any of that information, that's also available as resources for you. Let me let you in on a little secret. If you go to that website and get kind of acclimated with the information, your assessment questions will be answered just like that. So make sure you go to that website before you start taking the assessment. So let me go over a couple of things for you before we let you go. One, you must complete the assessment by January 18th, 2021 at 11:59 p.m. You must score at least 80%. And so that's the way we're going to be able to evaluate that the information you received today is at least partly stuck to your brain. And then, again, you can contact us through that email at orientation at texarkanacollege.edu with general questions. But I also encourage you to step out of the box and contact the different offices directly. If you have a financial aid question, contact them. They'll answer. If you have questions about disability services or testing, or if you have questions about how to get into the academic commons, call those offices directly, and so they can get kind of to know you and you can get to know them as well. We're so excited that you've done orientation today. We're so excited that you are starting your journey here at TC, and we're excited to be able to not only acclimate you to our processes, but to be able to push you to the finish line. Sometimes the finish line is longer than we expected. Some of you, this is your second, third, or even fourth time starting. And regardless of where you fall into that category, we are excited that you're here, and we're excited to help you start over, but more importantly, we're excited to help you finish. So I think, yeah, that's it. Congratulations, you're completed. All you got to do now is complete that assessment, and that assessment again is located at texarkanacollege.edu/orientation. I'm Lee Williams, Director of Admissions and EOC here at Texarkana College, excited to welcome you and excited that you've completed one part of your academic and career journey. Congratulations.